Welcome to Big Ten Saturday Night, presented by Discover. From Columbus, Ohio Stadium, where the #1 team in the country resides and is about to take the field in front of their home fans. Ohio State welcomes in Michigan State, a battle in the Big Ten East, and the Buckeyes looking to stay perfect. 9-0 to start the season. Here they come, here at home. No Eagle, Todd Blackledge, Catherine Tappan, and Terry McCauley along for the ride. Glad to have you alongside all of us. And Todd, we look at this game, you've got the #1 team in the country, and somehow, some way, in a scary way for a lot of the rest of the country, they're getting healthier late in the season.
Yeah, we're starting to see what they can really look like. TreyVeon Henderson has been back for a couple weeks, makes a huge difference. I expect to see Emeka Egbuka the best he's been in the last several weeks as well.
Beautiful night here in Columbus, a beautiful fall evening for some football, and a wonderful Veterans Day for all those watching. We wish everybody a fantastic Veterans Day. And for the national anthem here in Columbus, Ohio Stadium, a fantastic rendition ahead. Here's the PA announcer, Wes Clark.
Conducted by Dr. Scott Jones, Associate Director of Bands at Ohio State, to honor America. Please rise and join the band in the singing of our national anthem.
House in Ohio Stadium. Ohio State looks to get to 10-0 on the season. They welcome in the Spartans of Michigan State next. Big Ten Saturday Night is presented by Discover. Michigan State, coming off their first win in 2 months, heads on the road to Ohio Stadium and faces off with the #1 team in the country, the Ohio State Buckeyes, led by Kyle McCord as we go down to the third member of our crew, Catherine Tappan.
All right, thanks so much, Noah. Coach, slow starts for the offense have been an issue recently for the team. How do you get back on track early in this game tonight?
We've had a good week of preparation. We got a great crowd here, so we want to start fast and play our best football right now.
A couple key injuries on defense for you coming into tonight. 2 of your starting safeties and your leader on defense, Tommy Eichenberg, not available. What adjustments do you need to make?
We have good depth there. You know, guys have been practicing real well, so that's what happens in November. You know, we'll get those guys some rest, but yeah, good opportunity for these guys to go in and play in a great game.
Coach, thank you so much.
All right, you got it.
Noah?
All right, KT, Ryan Day ready for the challenge ahead, and it's an interim head coach on the other side who just got his first win. Harlan Barnett, the victory over Nebraska last week, 20-17. The scenes on the field were spectacular.
Yeah, it really was great. I mean, he's such a nice man. I mean, he is as green and white gets, right? He played there, he coached there, he loves Michigan State, and it was really cool to see him and his family enjoy that first win last weekend.
He told us this week, you're not going to find anybody more passionate about the Spartans than me. 45 degrees here tonight, very little wind, pretty picturesque, perfect night for some November football. And as Harlan Barnett told us, November is for contenders, and despite being 3-6, this team is contending to go 4-0 in November. They're contending for a bowl game, and they're contending for their pride. They're going to have to contend against that man, Marvin Harrison Jr., arguably the best player in all of college football.
And I think they're going to have to be prepared to withstand an early storm, because I expect Ohio State to come out much better, much more aggressive early in this game. The last 2 weeks on the road, the game before that here against an excellent Penn State defense. Tonight, they want to get off to a great start.
MSU won the toss, defer to the second half, so Jonathan Kim will boom it deep, and it will be a touchback to start us out here tonight, which will bring out Kyle McCord, first year as a starter. It seems like he's gotten comfortable as the season has gone on, but the last 2 weeks he's actually turned the ball over a bit.
Yeah, but you know, the story about this guy is not his statistics, because you think of the quarterbacks that have come before him that were first-round draft picks. Where he is shining right now in his first year as a starter is being a leader, and his resiliency and his fight and his toughness. Even when he makes mistakes, it doesn't bother him, and he doesn't waver. And I think that is what's causing the team to really rally around him.
Certainly helps when you've got TreyVeon Henderson healthy and in the backfield, and Cade Stover, who didn't play last week against Rutgers, back out there on the first play as the tight end. And Henderson just hops through the line. He'll pick up 5 on first down. So dynamic out of the backfield, hard to stop.
Well, and he gives their offensive line confidence, because every time he touches it, he could take it the distance. And it just gives more confidence to that whole offense. They've got 2 players in TreyVeon Henderson and Marvin Harrison, as good as any players at their respective positions anywhere in college football. They've got to touch the ball a lot tonight.
Henderson stays in there, second down and 5. And he's got the pill again, bounce it to the outside. Henderson, turn on the speed into the secondary, out of bounds across the 40. Gross shoves him out of bounds after a gain of 13.
So you can't take bad angles. You've got to set the edge. If you don't set the edge and keep your outside arm free, he's got too much speed to bounce it to the outside. Aaron Brule, number 7, did a poor job of maintaining the edge of the defense on that run.
Henderson had over 200 total yards a week ago against Rutgers. He's going to come off to the outside now and line up at the wide receiver spot. Empty backfield on first down for McCord. Plenty of time, steps up, there's Stover, his first catch of the day, spins his way to midfield.
And that's the difference in having Cade Stover back, too. He's been out. He's got a knee brace on his right knee. That time, Kyle McCord was trying to look to Marvin Harrison. There was double coverage on that side of the field on Marvin. He came back to the other side and found Stover. And he may not be quite back to 100%, but he's such a good target in this pass offense on the inside.
Former linebacker who has grown into one of the best tight ends in the country. And Ryan Day looking for a quicker start. Already positive signs on this opening drive. Handoff, and it's Xavier Johnson, the wide receiver, coming out of the backfield to pick up the first down. Tripped up across that line again. First down as we take a look at our first big shot presented by Nissan.
Well, we've already talked about TreyVeon Henderson, Marvin Harrison Jr. They'll get their touches tonight. Defensively, Simeon Barrow on the inside of a pretty good defensive line. And Jaden Mangum, their free safety, one of the leaders in the Big Ten with 4 interceptions, had one last week in their big win against Nebraska.
So we've seen Ohio State spread the sugar a little bit early. Henderson, Johnson, Stover all with a touch.
Snap.
And McCord's going to go back to get it, recover, and just dirt it in the direction of Ibuka.
Smart play. Smart play. It was a bad snap. Carson Hinsman, the first-year starter at center, it hit himself. I mean, he hit his butt with the snap, and McCord did the right thing. Field the ball first of all, and then don't try to be a hero. Dirt the ball and live to play 2nd and 10.
I'd imagine it would be difficult for a quarterback because all you heard is we got to start faster, but you also have to remain patient within the game plan.
You do, and 2nd and 10 is better than 2nd and 18 or a turnover or anything like that. So that was a smart play right there.
Chip Trainum, the running back, on second down. McCord back to pass. Dart over the middle. Incomplete. And flag does come in. A couple of them late. Abuka was held up as Mangum was locked up with him in the secondary. And we'll see what the eventual call is from our referee, Mark Klaczynski.
Yeah, I think he grabbed him. I mean, he was in position to make a play on the crossing route, but he grabbed him early before the ball got there. Here's Abuka in the slot.
Defense number 1. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
And he was in good position, and he could have just cut underneath, but he grabbed the receiver, and as soon as he turned his body, that's an automatic foul.
Mangum's been a big-time ball hog for this Michigan State defense. 4 interceptions, leads the teams tied for second in the Big Ten. So first down pitch to Henderson instead. Makes a cut, and Henderson explodes, picks up 7 more.
Well, we're seeing the balance, right? They have run the football more this year. They've been more committed to establishing the run. Part of that is because of the new quarterback, and part of it is, as Ryan Day told us yesterday, look, we've got to be able to run the ball effectively in November to be a championship team. And so they've really worked hard, and with Henderson back, it makes a huge difference to their run game.
Ryan Williams was so impactful last year. He's out for the rest of the season. Injury suffered a couple weeks back as McCord goes to play action. Fires to the sideline. It's caught. Out of bounds. Stover for another first down. Picks up 10.
Well, again, you see the value of Stover. Watch him just hesitate a little bit to the line. Gets inside leverage, working on the safety, and just a valuable target as part of this pass offense. We've seen Abuka targeted. We've seen Stover. It's about time to see number 18 get one thrown his way. Here he is right there.
Take it to Henderson. Pitch it. Harrison. Open space. There he goes. Marvin Harrison Jr. Touchdown. Ohio State. Get it to the playmaker, and he'll make a play.
You could just feel it was time for him to touch the ball, right? I mean, they didn't throw it to him, but they're going to bring him in the backfield and give it to him on an end around. Henderson is showing fake the other way. The backup tight end, G. Scott, gets a nice block out in front. But all you got to do is get that guy the ball in some space, and good things are going to happen.
Jaden Fielding on for the extra point, and it is 7-0 Ohio State. The #1 team in the country wanted a quicker start, and they got it on this opening drive. A little bit of everything. It started with Henderson out of the backfield. It's finished with Harrison from that same spot. And number 18 adds another touchdown to his tally on the season. Well, this was something that had bugged Ohio State, and really Ryan Day the last couple of weeks. First half, it just been a little clunky, not quite what they wanted it to be. Only 10 points per game in the first half, and then it was smooth sailing for the third and fourth quarters. 19 points per game in the last 6, over 150 yards through the air, and just the 2 turnovers. This one, they go 8 plays, 75 yards, under 4 minutes, and then the longest rush of the career, the illustrious career of Marvin Harrison Jr., his first rushing touchdown to put him up 7-0.
And all their guys got touches on that opening drive, which is important.
This drive will start from the 25 for Michigan State. We go down to KT.
Yeah, guys, and Kyle McCord said of those slow starts, early on as a whole, we try to ease into the game a little bit and feel it out. TreyVeon Henderson told me, we see our defense balling out and it motivates us, but we have to help them too. We have to step up and produce in the game. It motivates us to see the defense taking care of business. Well, as for the defense, defensive back Still Chambers said he's not worried about it. He said if we start slow, we ramp it up. It's a 4-quarter game, so we adjust. Noah?
First time we're going to see Chambers in this defense here tonight. They've been outstanding this season. And the first chance for Caden Hauser leading this Michigan State offense for the 5th consecutive game. Nate Carter, the running back on first down, had a wonderful start to the season, a slow down of late. Play action for Hauser on first down. Swing it to the outside. Catch is made. And Montori Foster is going to extend forward for a first down. Picks up 11.
Yeah, nice first play. Jay Johnson calling that for Caden Hauser, and his results have been a little bit mixed, but I think more good than bad. He's a really good thrower. I mean, he can really throw the football. Played his high school football out in California. Originally committed to Boise State, but he wanted an opportunity to play big-time football in a conference like the Big Ten.
Playing without two of his top receivers in Mosley and Glover, and this is going to be an incompletion. Just throws it short of Foster. Matched up with Igbinosun on the outside.
We talked about Ohio State getting some of their guys back on offense, and we've already seen that, but they're missing some key guys on defense. Their two starting safeties, Josh Proctor and Lathan Ransom, are both out, as is their leading tackler and middle linebacker, Tommy Eichenberg. The good news is Cody Simon, who's taking Eichenberg's place, is an outstanding player in his own right.
2nd down and 10. Hauser back to the air again. Slant over the middle. It's caught. Alante Brown. 1st down and more. Across midfield down to the 45.
That was a good route on Ohio State's best defender. That's Denzel Burke. He's their #1 cover corner. Pretty big cushion there and a good timing on the throw by Hauser on the slant. Good start for the Spartan offense.
An offense that has struggled. They're last in the Big Ten, 18.2 points per game. They've struggled with penalties. They've already played 2 top 10 teams, and that was the biggest key for Harlan Barnett, who wanted to limit the mistakes. Jaron Mangum with his first carry, and he dives forward after a pickup of 7.
One of the reasons that Nate Carter's production has gone down the last few weeks is because they didn't have another guy to go to. Jalen Berger was that guy. He got hurt. This is Jaron Mangum, who transferred from South Florida, and he just now is healthy and is able to practice full time. So they've got a chance to go back and forth and keep both those backs fresh right now.
Keep an eye out for number 6 in white, Malik Carr, who did not play last week. He's a big target at the tight end spot. Not in there right now either. Bootleg for Hauser, uncorks and incomplete out of bounds in the general direction of Evan Morris. So here's your 3rd down, and this is where Ohio State's been so great defensively. These short yardage situations, they just don't give up an inch.
Yeah, they've been really good in critical situations, red zone, goal line, 3rd down, and they just have not given up big plays, explosive plays. They don't have a lot of sacks, and they don't have a lot of takeaways, but they have been outstanding in critical situations.
Mangum stays in there on 3rd down and 3.
I think this is 2-down territory for Michigan State also. Might run it twice here.
Fake it. Hauser looking to get to the outside. He can't. Spun down in the backfield. Big play and a welcome back moment for Denzel Burke.
Yeah, Denzel Burke. First of all, the play is made right here. Number 7, Jordan Hancock, is the guy who's going to make the play first. Watch Hancock take on the block and force Hauser to go outside. And because the ball got bounced outside, that's where Burke was able to clean it up. But Jordan Hancock made a huge play, and I thought that would have been 2-down territory had they not lost so many yards on that 3rd down play.
So we asked Harlan Barnett about Jonathan Kim, who made a 58-yarder, which was a Kinnick Stadium record earlier this year. He said this guy's leg gives him confidence to call different plays based on the situation. This is a 56-yarder for Kim, and it's no good. Wide to the left. So they go backward on that 3rd down play. It had the distance, didn't have the accuracy, and it's 7-0.
Back in Columbus, 7-0 Buckeyes. Time now for our Walmart Plus look from above. Getting the ball to the weapons. TreyVeon Henderson, this was the opening drive for Ohio State. Kyle McCord spreading the ball around. This is Cade Stover back in the lineup. And then his #1 go-to guy. They didn't throw it to Marvin Harrison, but they handed it to him, and he did the rest. Beautiful touchdown run. They also targeted Emeka Egbuka, and he drew a pass interference penalty on that opening drive. What a job Kyle McCord has with those kind of weapons. Yeah. Just get the ball in the hands of the right people, right?
You a little jealous?
Oh, it's fun. I had some good weapons too, but that's fun.
Play action. McCord just gets rid of it. Stover, a security blanket, and then some. Makes something out of nothing for a 1st down pickup of 12.
Now this is a heads-up play by Kyle McCord. Nothing there. It looked like he was going to just try to run to avoid the sack. Pretty good pressure by this front, and he just kind of flips the ball out to Stover. I think he did. Just kind of a heads-up, kind of an improv play. And Stover turns it into a first down.
And again, G. Scott had a touchdown in place of Stover last week in the win over Rutgers, but there's just such intangibles that Stover brings to the table. Jump cut, Henderson couldn't make the second miss, but a nice run. Picks up 4 more on first down as Kimbrough, filling in for the injured Dylan Tatum, comes up to make the tackle.
Well, the other thing about Stover, he's a great inline blocker. He got a heck of a block on this play. And you just see, again, if you're a defensive coordinator, you kind of hold your breath every time 32 gets the football.
Swing it, Stover again. Room to run down the sideline, shoved out of bounds inside the 30. Aaron Brule got the angle, and Stover eaten early in his return to action.
These wide receivers for Ohio State, one of the things they do exceptionally well is block downfield. They're very unselfish. That time, 2 wideouts leading the way blocking for their tight end, Cade Stover. And Julian Fleming is probably the best of the whole bunch in terms of blocking on the perimeter.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is at the top of your screen, matched up with a true freshman, Chance Rucker.
No safety help.
And they are looking for the end zone. Harrison one-on-one. He's got it. A one-man wrecking crew. Marvin Harrison Jr. Touchdown, Ohio State.
Well, by formation, they saw there was no safety help, and you're not going to win one-on-ones against Marvin Harrison. Beautifully thrown ball by Kyle McCord over the outside shoulder. Impossible to defend, and even more difficult because there's no safety there to help the freshman cornerback.
Ty, we were talking about this game this morning, and you mentioned it, as Fielding does add the extra point. His body control is at a different level than anybody else.
Unbelievable.
Continues to produce. Harrison's 11th touchdown of the season, 28th of his career, a 4-play drive, and it results, as many of them do, with number 18 in the end zone for the second time tonight. Ohio State up 2 scores. Big Ten Saturday Night is brought to you by Ancestry. Discover, preserve, represent. And by Auto Trader. If you see a car, find it on Auto Trader. Well, this was earlier today, St. John Arena. This is the Skull Session, final rehearsal for the band before they perform on the field. That includes the script Ohio. We got a chance to see it. Really special moment. And speaking of, Marvin Harrison Jr. just passed the great. I don't think people realize how great Chris Carter not only was here at Ohio State, but of course in the NFL as well. In career touchdowns, his 28th, 3rd straight game with multiple touchdowns as well for MHJ.
Well, I want to go back to this touchdown, show you what Kyle McCord saw. He sees what he likes out here, but now what he wants to see is, what is this safety going to do? If that guy takes 1 step towards him, boom, I know I got a one-on-one outside, and nobody is going to hang with number 18. So as soon as he saw that safety not cheat over, he says, I'll take my odds with that one-on-one. And he just passed a great receiver in his own right in Chris Carter. Great here at Ohio State, and also at the next level, Hall of Fame career in the NFL.
And that's what Harrison is hoping to move on to in the near future. Expected by many to be one of the first couple of players taken in this year's NFL draft, and for good reason. He's got everything in his bag, the total package. Meanwhile, second drive for Michigan State, missed a field goal from 56 yards out to open it up offensively. And they'll hand it off. Nate Carter on first down with some good blocking in front. And Carter turns on the speed and out of bounds at midfield.
Well, those kind of runs have been few and far between for Carter here, but this is excellent work. Watch JD be playing the left guard come and just kind of seal the edge here. They pull the backside guard and the tight end, and they just get a nice corner secured for Nate Carter and found some space for him.
Good block from Evan Morris as well, former kickoff specialist, moved to tight end, really known for his blocking. Play action on first down. Hauser going deep down the sideline, incomplete. Overthrew Foster, and tight coverage by Burke.
And not a lot of room there. Montori Foster was their leading receiver last week, and with 2 guys out, I mean, he's kind of the go-to guy. But again, Denzel Burke is their primary cover corner guy, and you're not going to get a lot of one-on-one battles that are in your favor against him. If I was going outside, I would go to the other side against Davison Igbenuson, the guy who transferred from Ole Miss. Igbinosun.
Carter in motion on second down. Design run now for Hauser up the middle, and there is no room. That hole plugged up quickly, picks up maybe 2 yards and sets up 3rd and long.
Peyton Hauser not really known as a runner nearly as much as Sam Levitt, the freshman quarterback behind him, but they did run him effectively last week against Nebraska. And they kind of fooled Nebraska. Ohio State has not been fooled the 2 times that they've tried to run the football tonight.
Hauser and Levitt split time last week in the win over Nebraska. It was Levitt getting every 3rd drive in each half. So far it's been all Hauser. 3rd and 8. In the pocket, lofts it too high. Put it in the direction of Antonio Gates Jr. And it'll be 4th and long. Igbinosun was the one deep in coverage.
Now this ball really sailed. There was a little, you don't normally have 2 receivers that close to each other. Kind of maybe messed up the vision of Peyton Hauser, but that ball sailed on him. And it'll force a punt situation.
So Ryan Eckley will come out for the first time. Similar to the opening offensive possession for Michigan State, just stalled out just past midfield. First one was the long missed field goal. Now they'll try to pin him deep as Ballard is back to receive it for OSU. And this one, somewhat of a shank. Does get the bounce, stays inbounds, and it'll be down at the 16-yard line by Evan Morris. So Michigan State still down 2 scores, and the Buckeyes looking to take advantage next. So
yeah,
it's all working out. Nice tied ball game there. Ohio State already up 14-0 here in front of a packed house at Ohio Stadium. And now another chance for Kyle McCord, who is 5 of 6, 73 yards and a touchdown in this opening quarter. Handoff, Chip Trainum on first down. He picks up 3, and let's go down to KT.
Well, guys, believe this or not, Marvin Harrison Jr. told me I wasn't fast in high school. During COVID, I had the time to train, and I wanted to get faster for college. So before school every day, I would do as many sprints as I possibly could using a 25-pound sled. I'd sprint 20 yards. He said he doesn't do it as much in season, but every now and then he gets that sled out. And Cody Simon told me when he's on the sideline watching Marvin Harrison Jr., he said it's like watching a symphony. I think we can all agree with that.
Well, KT, I'd love to know what he considers not fast.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he was fast, just maybe by his own standards or accord. As McCord drops back on 2nd and 7. That one a little high, but brought in by Julian Fleming.
Or maybe by his dad's standards.
Or by his dad's standards.
Because we do know he holds him pretty highly accountable. But look, the guy's had 2 touches tonight, 2 touchdowns. Last week he only had 4 catches, only 25 yards, but 2 of the catches were touchdowns. So, I mean, he is magic when you get the ball in his hands.
Here's a 3rd down for the Michigan State defense. McCord under pressure. Who else? Marvin Harrison Jr. ducks out of bounds just shy of midfield.
So now this is considered double coverage because it's cover 2. So there's a corner who's underneath and a safety coming over the top. But Marvin finds the hole in between, and McCord does a nice job of dropping the football there on time. Timing very important, as well as accuracy on a throw like that between defenders.
Trainum stays in there. Play action. McCord lofts it. Incomplete. In the direction of Abuka once again, still without a catch and still starting to get back to that 100% health. He's not quite there with the ankle injury that he dealt with earlier in the season, but slowly but surely feeling more explosive out on the field.
Yeah, and you know, the coaches just rave about his toughness, right? And they call him a warrior. They said he was available for the Penn State game, which he really wasn't 100%. He's still not back to where he was pre-injury, but he is fighting to get himself back for the most important games of their season here down the stretch.
Said the hardest part is trying to find the game reps to get him back into that shape. Here's a 2nd down and 10. Dump it down for Trainum. And he will fly over the top of that first would-be tackler, Malik Spencer, and get to the 49-yard line of Michigan State. Harlan Barnett, he knows this defense is capable, and he said that he's loved coaching these guys.
Yeah.
This is something that has been a great joy for him, not just because he's enjoyed doing the job, but more so because of the way that they have fought, even through the adversity of losing 2 consecutive months worth of games.
When you put film of these guys on, they do not look like a team that has the record that they have. They play hard, and they're pretty well coached, particularly on defense.
3rd down, here comes the blitz. McCord reads it, to the outside he goes, and it's a 1st down for Julian Fleming.
Ryan Day said when Kyle McCord's feet and eyes are right, he's right. Good feet, quick delivery, quick decision, and an accurate throw. And accuracy as a quarterback has more to do with your feet than it does with your arm. Perfect footwork there, and a nice strike delivered to Julian Fleming for the first down.
McCord last week in the win at Rutgers, 189 yards through the air. In this first quarter, he's got 114 and counting. Henderson spins away, just keeps the legs churning to the 35.
See, here is a perfect example of the difference TreyVeon Henderson makes. I mean, this should be maybe a 2-yard gain. Just watch this. It's well defended. He should have been tackled right there. But he breaks the tackle of Jordan Hall, and he turns a 2-yard gain into a 5-yard gain. And he turns 5-yard gains into 8-yard gains. That's the difference between a guy like TreyVeon Henderson and other running backs.
They've got talent in the backfield outside of Henderson, but that home run ability. This time it's going to be a wide receiver getting in there. Xavier Johnson's second carry of the game is another first down.
Spartan down on the field at the end of this play. Looks like Simeon Barrow, their best interior defensive lineman.
One of 3 captains on this team as well, an anchor for this defense.
Barrow working on the inside. They had 2 backs in that time. Chip Trainum was in kind of as a lead blocking back. And Xavier Johnson, who is an older guy, a graduate student, big special teams guy, and they're using him some at running back. With the injury of Mayan Williams, they needed another guy back there as they continue to look at Simeon Barrow.
And this front 7 for the Michigan State defense, that's where their bread is buttered, especially in that interior. You've got Barrow, who's had a really stellar season. Maverick Hansen's made some big plays, including last week. Derek Harmon. And then you've got some youth mixed in with the experience. Jalen Thompson starting to play a little bit more on the edge. You see him, number 55 right there. And their linebackers are all stellar. They really are. Cal Halliday, Aaron Brule have had some excellent seasons. And Jordan Hall, that true freshman, has come on strong. Good to see Barrow up on his feet.
Well, the thing Scotty Hazelton told us, their defensive coordinator, is over the last couple of weeks, one of the reasons they've been playing better on defense is they've got healthier on their defensive line. So they've been able to rotate more bodies in there and keep guys fresh. And you got to hope, and he's got to hope, that Simeon Barrow is going to be able to come back in the football game.
Coach Hazelton upstairs, had been coaching on the field for the majority of the season, but Harlan Barnett, interim head coach, said, I really think it would be good for you to get upstairs and see the field a little bit better, as Jalen Sami is going to come in for the injured Barrow. So first down, as Ohio State knocking on the door of the red zone once again with a 2-score lead. Luke with the motion man. McCord looks the other way. It's Henderson out of the backfield. Stutter step, and Henderson can't get away. Great job to go down low by Aaron Brule and restrict any sort of movement in forward progress.
Yeah, that's a heck of a play in space against a very dangerous guy if he catches it out there. And Aaron Brule did a beautiful job.
Going to go quickly here. Henderson makes the first miss. Henderson was on his feet, but it's going to be stopped at the 22-yard line. So gains 1 and sets up 3rd and 5.
Big play right here from Michigan State's defense. One of the things they've done pretty well all year is their 3rd down defense. And Ryan Day said they create some problems for you on 3rd down. Coming into the game, just 32% conversion, 4th best in the Big Ten.
Rucker matched up on Harrison once again. That was the matchup that they went to the touchdown. McCord looking that way, firing that way, wide open. Henderson, first down, spins all the way inside the 10. It's 1st and goal.
What a beautiful route adjustment, whether this was called from the sideline or just something between Kyle and Marvin. But he knows there's double coverage. So instead of running into the hole between the corner and safety, he just does the stop, and it's a thrown to the outside shoulder. A great adjustment to the coverage.
Ohio State will get the play off before the end of the first, but it's Henderson who is spun down and thrown to the ground by Derek Harmon. That'll end this first quarter, a first quarter that Ohio State was speaking about all week, saying we got to start quick, we've got to start quick. Well, back at home at Ohio Stadium on Veterans Day, you go to your go-to guy, and Marvin Harrison Jr. provides a 2-touchdown lead for the #1 team in the nation. Aerial coverage brought to you by Ford. End of the first. We get set for the second with Ohio State up 14-0 on Michigan State. We welcome you to the booth here in Columbus. Noah Eagle, Todd Blackledge, Catherine Tappan, and Terry McCauley. Glad to have you with us. Fast start was what we were looking for. Most points in the first quarter for Ohio State this year.
Yeah, and then they look very sharp. I mean, Kyle McCord, I mean, he hit his first 11 passes to start the game last week. I think he looks even better today. Very accurate, very decisive. 11 for 13, distributing the ball. All their weapons are touching the football. And then defensively, doing what they have done all year. They're not giving up big plays. They've given up a few plays to Michigan State, but stiffen when they need to and keeping them out of the end zone. They don't give up points and they don't give up big plays.
You just said it. Michigan State actually moving the ball pretty well, all things considered. And defensively, look, it's going to be a matchup problem when you've got that guy on one side. And Marvin Harrison Jr. has had a really solid start to this game with a couple of touchdowns. But Michigan State doing some good things early. So a 2nd and goal to start this second quarter. And Henderson in the backfield. Mabuka, the motion man. Play action. McCord, end zone. Again, Marvin Harrison Jr. is magical. His 3rd touchdown.
What a tremendous route. He's working on Malik Spencer, the nickelback. And watch him just fake a little bit to the outside on this route. Watch him go in, out. The little out fake freezes Spencer. And then back to the inside. Beautiful route. And that's the thing about him. He's big, he's fast, he's got great hands, and he's a precise route runner. And in the red zone, that's huge. He had 3 touchdown catches against Michigan State last year in East Lansing. Already 3 tonight in the first half.
Ties a career high. It took 2 seconds into the second quarter to do it. Now, one of those today was a rushing touchdown, so his 12th receiving touchdown of the season. He continues on that career list, his 29th career receiving touchdown. And you brought it up, so guess what? We've got it ready to go. Last year against Michigan State, this was what Marvin Harrison Jr., we know he's capable of doing this pretty much every week. But again, it's that body control and that recognition of what the game is required within the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he just is the whole package. And as Ryan Day said, when you've got that kind of talent and discipline and work ethic and skill, I mean, that's what creates a generational type player, and that's what he is. I mean, they've had great receivers come through this program over the last several years. I don't know that any of them are any better or more prepared to go to the next level and be a star right now as Marvin Harrison Jr.
He knows he's got this final month here at Ohio State, in all likelihood going to the NFL draft with his high school quarterback Kyle McCord. Been together for 6 years, and they are clicking at the right time for the #1 team in the country. Now with a 21-0 lead, Michigan State will get the football back here, and we'll see if they can put together a productive drive to get themselves on the board. Fair catch called for and made by Tyrell Henry. NBC Sports and Ancestry have teamed up to celebrate the rich heritage of college football, spotlighting standout athletes and their incredible family legacies. Generations coming soon to NBC Sports digital platforms. All right, so now you've got Michigan State. You're down 21-0, but again, you've moved the ball pretty well. So the offense has done some good things. They just haven't punched the ball in. They missed that field goal to start as well.
Yeah, you just cannot get knocked off schedule, and that's easier said than done going against a defense like Ohio State. And you've got to create some explosive plays in your run or pass game, because you're not going to drive it 12 plays on this defense.
Mangum finds the hole, but can't escape to the outside. Tripped up after a gain of 4. Malik Hartford, true freshman who's getting that extra time because of the injury to Josh Proctor, goes down low to get him.
Michigan State going a little no huddle here, a different looking formation, wide 2-by-2 formation right now, trying to stretch out this Ohio State defense.
Second down and 6 for Hauser. Quickly to Henry on the outside. He's got some speed with the ball in his hands and explodes forward for the first down to the 39.
That's a nice little play. It was a good block out in front by Alante Brown, the transfer from Nebraska. There was off coverage on Henry, and so it ended up being a very productive play on 2nd and long.
Mangum stays in there. Nate Carter was the bell cow early this season Leads the team with 659 yards coming in, 4 touchdowns. Play action for Hauser. Dials it up. Out of the backfield. Mangum can't haul it in. And it's 2nd and 10. So Mangum getting that extra playing time. Todd mentioned it. Transfer coming in from USF. Before that was at Colorado, a 4-star prospect, the #1 running back prospect in Michigan coming out of high school. And his brother Jaden on the other side, a defensive back, leading the team with 4 interceptions. Handoff on 2nd and 10. And Mangum lowers the shoulder and drags the pile forward to the 43.
He's a big back, and he's 235 pounds. You could see it on that run, just kind of carrying some would-be tacklers with him for a few yards. They'll take him out now, bring Harold Joyner, the 3rd in on this 3rd down passing situation.
Joyner, the Auburn transfer, 6th year of college football, on a 3rd and 6.
Montorie Foster is your primary guy. He hasn't got a catch yet tonight.
Hauser looking to escape, tucks and runs. Hauser tripped up. And it's going to depend on the spot. Right now, they gave him a pretty quality spot to the 49. That's where he had to get. Steele Chambers was the one to chop him down. And based on where they put the football, that's a 1st down.
Well, heads-up play by Caden Hauser. We mentioned he's not known for his running ability, but he has had some clutch runs in the last couple weeks. And I got to believe they're going to take a look at this, because I thought he was short when he came down.
Ruling on the previous play as the runner made the line to gain. Plays under further review.
Yeah, that elbow is down well shy of the 49. Maybe the 48.5 is where the ball is.
The ball's not even on the 40. Yeah, the ball was at the 49.5, it looked like.
So in all likelihood, now it's going to be 4th and very short. But if you're Michigan State, you're right by midfield. Yeah. Even if it does get overturned to a 4th and short, feels like you've got to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, look where you're at this season, right? You can't afford to be conservative right here. You've got to be aggressive. You're moving the ball fairly well. Right now, offensive coordinator Jay Johnson's got to be thinking about what they want to do on 4th down if this is overturned. There's Jay right there. He was at Colorado as the OC with Mel Tucker. He was at Georgia before that.
And this goes back to our conversation with defensive coordinator Ohio State Jim Knowles, who said against a team with nothing to lose, they can pull out really any of their bags of tricks.
Yeah.
And on a 4th and short, they saw it last week with that pseudo fumble Rooski against Rutgers.
Review. The runner's elbow was down with the ball short of the line to gain. Will be 4th down.
So let's see what the official decision is from Harlan Barnett and the Spartans, and it looks like the offense might be walking towards the sideline.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by this. Down 21-0. I mean, it's less than a yard that you need on 4th down.
We'll see if they'd be willing to fake it here. Ryan Eckley out there.
Yeah, but Ohio State's going to be thinking safe punt. They're not going to rush. Look, this is safe punt.
Mangum on the direct snap, goes up the middle. There's the 1st down.
Wow. They're in safe punt, trying to prepare for that, and they still convert. And again, the big body of Jaren Mangum. 235 pounds. And it's not like he's a linebacker or a tight end or somebody who's normally on a punt team. He's a running back, so he knows how to get that 1st down. That's almost just like a wildcat play right there on 4th down.
So it'll get Carter back into the game as the back here. But again, 3rd time already that Michigan State has been inside Ohio State territory. They just haven't cashed in with points. Handoff Carter on the delay. Stutter step move. And bulldozes forward to the 43-yard line.
You know, last week when Ohio State played at Rutgers, they gave up the most yards all season, 365 yards, including 232 yards rushing. But their goal line defense was phenomenal. And they had drives of Rutgers stopped on the 4, the 3, and the 2-yard line, and Rutgers had to settle for field goals.
JT Tuimoloau said we get to that goal line red zone situation. That's the money zone for us. We feel good about that play with a chip on our shoulder after disappointing last season, as Hauser just gets converged, goes down at the line of scrimmage.
That was good coverage downfield, because this protection is good enough. Ohio State pretty much just rushes 4 guys. They trust those 4. There was enough protection, but coverage downfield, nowhere to go with the football. There's no open areas, and that forced the scramble. But the protection so far tonight for Michigan State has been pretty solid. You have 2 elite pass rushers on the end, particularly JT Tuimoloau right there.
Spartans 0 for 3 on 3rd down, looking for their first conversion, not going to get it. Hauser threw it behind Tyrell Henry, and again Ohio State gets a stop with Jordan Hancock.
Yeah, well, Jordan Hancock had a 93-yard pick 6 last week, and this could have been another one right here, because as you said, the ball was thrown inside. That ball has to be thrown out to the sideline to have a chance. The old adage for a quarterback, you throw the outs out and the deep ones deep. And that was an out route thrown inside, and very lucky it wasn't picked off.
So again, 4th and 6 just stalls out just past midfield. Eckley back out there will try to pin him deep as Ballard is back to receive it. Calls for the fair catch, lets it bounce behind him, and this is a fantastic punt that gets down in between the 1 and 2 by Montori Foster. So Michigan State flips the field, still trailing by 3 scores on the road here in Columbus. Team in the country, we come to the #1 team in the country, and well, one's got a 2-touchdown lead, the other is up 3 scores, and Caden Hauser has played solid so far. 41 yards through the air, hasn't completed a whole lot, but they've mixed the run and the pass. They just haven't gotten any on the scoreboard, and now Henderson and this Ohio State offense looking to retort as Henderson will gain a yard.
Yeah, I think this is the biggest possession for the Michigan State defense of the game right here. If they can get a 3 and out, which is they have not been able to do so far, they got a chance to give their offense a short field, and there's nothing more important than that right now for Michigan State's offense, because again, this Ohio State defense is so stingy and has been all year, but a short field would be a huge advantage.
So Aaron Brule go off gingerly as McCord will go to the air on 2nd down and find Stover just shy of the 10. Forward progress will get him to the 9. So Cal Holiday makes the tackle. It does set up 3rd down here and about 4. Ohio State 3 for 3 on 3rd down so far tonight. A couple of them have been impressive, and generally you go to who?
Well, where are the guys? Here's Harrison, here's Stover, and here's Henderson. One of those 3.
Henderson. Oh, he runs right into the arms of Derek Harmon. Michigan State will get the stop.
A big-time stop. Derek Harmon, a big fella on the inside, 6'5", 320 pounds. Here he is right here, and he's just going to fight through the block, slide over and make the tackle, well be short of the 1st down marker. Beautiful play on the inside by Derek Harmon.
So it'll force the first Ohio State punt of the day. Jesse Mirko, Tyrell Henry back to receive it for Michigan State. A little bit of breathing room on that Stover completion, and allows Mirko to get a line drive away. But Henry with a little bit of room, if he can get to the outside, he can't. Wrapped up at the 45. Great coverage by the Ohio State special teams, but still excellent field position for this Michigan State offense when we come back. Big Ten Saturday Night is brought to you by Genesis Motor America. Visit genesis.com. By NyQuil. And by the Xfinity 10G Network, made for streaming live sports. 52nd meeting between these two teams. Ohio State leads that all-time series 36-15, but they've had some classics over the years, and that includes Michigan State upsetting Ohio State when they've been the #1 team in the country. Nick Saban is the head coach of Sparty.
You know, that 2015 game that Michigan State won, I think our partner Joshua Perry had like 47 tackles in that game for Ohio State. some kind of record.
He was the team's leading tackler, so it would make sense as Nate Carter stumbles himself to midfield. Look, there have been a number of upsets, and a couple of them coming recently. You mentioned the 2015 game, 17-14 in favor of Michigan State. 2013, Ohio State was also ranked second in the country in the Big Ten championship game, and Michigan State with an upset before the East-West division. 98 was when Nick Saban was the head coach of Michigan State, and they were 4-4 coming into that game against the #1 team in the country. Carter, another carry, finds the hole, following his blockers. First down as he helicoptered across that line to the 43-yard line.
This is more space than Carter has seen for the last couple weeks. And it's been nice having Jared Magnum to kind of rotate in with him. A little different style, different body type, and keeping Nate Carter fresh. Jay Johnson said, even if we get behind, we cannot abandon the run.
Hauser looking to escape. He won't. Taken down by Sonny Styles.
This is where Sonny Styles is most effective, when he's close to the line of scrimmage, because he's sudden and he's long. So watch, as soon as he takes off, it doesn't take him long to get into the backfield. He's 6'4", he has great speed, and he's an excellent and dynamic blitzer in Jim Knowles' defense.
Second sack of the season sets up 2nd and 13. Hauser, deep drop, on the run. Hauser uncorks, incomplete in the direction of Henry.
And all of a sudden now they're behind the chains. Again, they make a few plays, they get something going, and now they're 3rd and long. Hauser does a nice job leaving the pocket, trying to extend the play, but just overthrows Terrell Henry.
We've seen their willingness to attempt a long field goal. They tried from 56 earlier. That would be from about the 39, 38-yard line, so they still have to pick up a few.
Yeah, I think you're thinking half the yardage here and go 2 downs to get a first down. So if you're Caden Hauser, you don't have to get all 13 here. Get half of the yardage if you can.
Joyner out of the backfield, Hauser to the outside. Completion is there, and then shoved out of bounds is Christian Fitzpatrick.
That's exactly what you need to do. The ball comes out quick, you get half the yardage, a little bit more than half, and you give yourself a chance on 4th down.
I think they're going to kick the field goal, and it is exactly what they're going to do. So Harlan Barnett has a lot of faith in Jonathan Kim.
Yeah, I get that, but if you miss, like he missed earlier, you give Ohio State great field position, which you would do anyway if you went for it on 4th down and missed. My point is, you are not going to beat Ohio State kicking field goals, particularly here. You've got to find a way to score touchdowns.
Miss from 56. This one's going to be from 53. And Kim's kick is good. He is impressive.
Yeah.
And Michigan State is on the board. So they don't get the touchdown, but they do get a little bit closer, and Jonathan Kim continues to show off that impressive leg on the road. Fantastic in his first hosting appearance. Should be a great show tonight. Crowd into it. #1 team in the nation into it. Marvin Harrison Jr., 3 touchdowns, and that's a big reason why. And realistically, the main reason why Ohio State's up 21-3 after the field goal by Jonathan Kim. Flag on the kickoff is sitting at the 36-yard line. And we'll hear from Brian Klaczynski as to what it is. Excuse me, Mark Klaczynski.
Offside. Kicking team number 56. The 5-yard penalty will be added to the touchback spot. First down on the 30-yard line.
Well, I mentioned that when Kyle McCord's feet are good, he's good. Here's 3 examples of good quarterback feet. No wasted motion, good base and balance, and a short stride. That all leads to accurate throwing. And it's a big reason why Kyle McCord is having an outstanding first half. He's at 13 of 15, 144 yards and 2 touchdowns, and it works from the ground up. It starts with good footwork, and it ends in accurate throwing.
See the numbers from McCord. Handoff delayed, handoff again for Henderson, looking to break free. He won't. Picks up 4. How much of that just comes back to confidence for Kyle McCord? He continues to get more comfortable in the role.
Yeah, I mean, it's confidence. It's just being relaxed. It's not forcing the issue, and it's trusting your protection. It's all that. And the more game reps he gets, the better he's going to be. And this is the best I've seen him all year.
And a rare drop from Marvin Harrison Jr. It'll bring up 3rd down. 4 catches, 72 yards, and the 2 touchdowns receiving. Has the 1 carry and the touchdown on the ground.
So I guess this proves that he is human. Yeah. I guess that's what we can deduce from this.
It was like seeing a UFO. You just don't expect it to happen. All right, 3rd down and 5. McCord has been efficient on 3rd down so far. That first 3rd down stop came on the last drive for Michigan State defense. See if they can do it again. McCord over the middle, and you know what? He's going to rectify his mistake. Marvin Harrison Jr. a 1st down on the freshman Rucker.
We talk about his body control. This is a slant route. This is his size, his big body. He gets separation, and then he just shields the defender with his body. I mean, he can do a little bit of everything, but his size was the difference on that one.
McCord dials it up. Abuka's first catch of the day, and it is a 1st down.
Well, that's a confidence play for him as well, because if he comes on and comes back and Stover continues to get healthy, this offense becomes that much more dangerous and hard to deal with, because you have to pick your poison at that point. Henderson has already given him that with the running game. Abuka gives him another weapon in the pass game.
Play action. McCord lets it fly. It's caught. Xavier Johnson out of the backfield. 1st and goal.
So this is the beauty of having a guy who's a wide receiver who can play in the backfield. I mean, this is very comfortable for him coming out and running a pass route. And another beautiful throw on time by Kyle McCord. Xavier Johnson continues to contribute in positive ways for this Buckeye offense.
Zion Young down on the field for Michigan State. Sophomore edge rusher has had a productive year. 25 tackles coming in. 4.5 TFLs. And they're going to check on him. Meanwhile, Marvin Harrison Jr., 85 yards on the day, is 1 yard shy of 1,000 on the season. We'll be back to see if Ohio State can punch it in. Well, moments ago, sophomore from Atlanta, Zion Young, made his way to the medical tent, had to be helped there, but then at the very end appeared to sit down with some ease. So we'll keep an eye on that situation. Looks like Ken Talley is going to be in there to replace him. Simeon Barrow, who got hurt earlier in the game, the captain, back out on the field as well. Meanwhile, it's 1st and goal. Harrison this time matched up with Kimbrough. Abuka the motion man. Henderson explodes forward and is in. Touchdown, Ohio State.
Really a beautiful job by the center, Carson, Hinsman, everybody up front doing a good job. But watch the center come off on the double team, and then he's going to come off on the linebacker. Bounces, gets a 2nd block, and that's all that was needed for TreyVeon Henderson. An impressive first half, running and throwing for this Ohio State offense. So much for the slow starts.
6 plays, 70-yard drive, just over 2 minutes off the clock. McCord was perfect through the air, and it leads to the 8th rushing touchdown of the season for that young man, TreyVeon Henderson.
Well, he makes such a difference. And again, with him in the backfield, it makes those 5 guys up front so much more confident, because they know if they hold their block, he's going to make it into the end zone.
And this is the difference that he makes, with and without. It's just so stark, you know. Barry Manilow is going to make you cry when he's not there. And TreyVeon Henderson, you could just feel the lack of his presence under 100 yards per game. Then Eve's going to get you pumped up when he comes back. because he's going for 150 plus as a total unit, but Henderson accounting for the vast majority of that, nearly 5 yards per carry. And the explosive runs, that feels like the biggest difference. It's the home run hitter. You hear that term all the time. He's the perfect embodiment of that.
Yeah. Well, and this is an offense that historically has lived on explosive plays. They've got 5 in the game so far tonight. 2 runs and 3 passes.
Fair catch is made by Henry as we go down to KT.
Well, Ryan Day said you can just see the difference he makes when he's out there, the explosiveness, the speed. You can just see when he's out there the impact he's having on our offense. And Marvin Harrison Jr. told me about TreyVeon Henderson. He said he's the most explosive back in the country. Anytime he touches the ball, he can take it in for 6. And Henderson told me just this week that it's really tough this time of year. He's gotten better at how he takes care of his body and prepares himself mentally as well so that he's ready come game day.
He's got that experience, KT, of knowing what the rigors of the season are required. That's what Nate Carter's trying to learn on the other side for Michigan State. It'll be Mangum in there instead on this first down.
Well, he had a great freshman year, then he was bothered by hand injuries all of last year.
Mangum, jump cut, picks up 3. And the ball came out late. Looked like Henry may have hopped on it. And he did.
I mentioned earlier this Ohio State defense, when you look at their numbers, terrific scoring defense, terrific pass defense, run defense. That ball does come out. Maybe he was down before, but Henry falls on it anyway. But only 9 takeaways, but they've scored 4 defensive touchdowns. So they've been incredibly efficient when they do take the ball away.
Morris, the motion man, bootleg here. And Hauser's just going to get rid of it. It is Morris on the dump down, but he's got no room to work with. Tripped up by Malik Hartford.
So look at this. So sacks and takeaways pretty low. And you would think, well, this can't be a great defense if they don't get those kind of plays. But these are their ranks in the FBS. Points per game, 2nd. Pass yards per attempt, 1st in all of the country. Completion percentage. They are the only team in the country that has not allowed a pass play of 40 yards or more. So they don't give up big plays and they don't give up points. And you win a lot of games if you play defense like that.
Approaching 2 minutes to play in this second. Michigan State does have all 3 timeouts if they can get this first down. But if not, Ohio State's going to have a chance to get a score before kicking it away to start the 3rd. Hauser recognizing the trouble. Flag is down, and Hauser gets rid of it. It's Morris again who bulldozes forward to the 30, so he's short of the first down, and we'll see what the penalty is.
Well, it's thrown in the area where you expect holding. I think they're going to get number 66, Ashton Lepo, for a hold.
Holding. Offense number 66. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
He was working on JT Tuimoloau, number 44, and you're going to see him get dragged to the ground. Would have been short of the first down anyway on the completion.
So now Ohio State's going to have just under 2 minutes to work with. Again, Michigan State did win the toss, elected to defer to the second half, so they will get the football to start the 3rd quarter. But Ohio State a chance to really extend themselves and take full command and control of this game as Eckley's going to punt it away.
And as good as Kyle McCord has played in his first half, why not let him sling it around and be aggressive here? You got a lot of time. You have timeouts. And again, it's another great game situation for him at the end of the half to run the 2-minute drill and try to get more points.
Oh boy, the low snap. Eckley fielded it and just gets it away. Flag is thrown, and Ballard makes one-man miss and ducks out of bounds just shy of the 30. So we'll wait to see what the penalty is here. It was thrown back inside the 20. Mark Klaczynski has gotten busy towards the end of this first half. It was a fairly clean first 2 quarters. And now a couple penalties starting to pile up. And this is what Harlan Barnett was afraid of. He didn't want extra penalties. Had 11 in each of the first 2 games against top 10 teams earlier this year against Washington and Michigan. Full conference, and yep, let's add another to the tally.
Kicking team player went out of bounds and returned on his own. Number 0, the 5-yard penalty will be enforced at the previous spot. Repeat 4th down.
So they'll re-kick it. Well, Ohio State got good pressure on the low snap. There seemed like some confusion in the formation anyway, and then Alante Brown goes a little too far wide, doesn't reestablish himself.
Well, it's one thing if you get forced out if you're a gunner, but you can't run out on your own and then come back in.
Ohio State number 11 has changed his number to 42. 11 becomes 42 for Ohio State.
All right, all this for this re-kick at 4th and 11.
Well, they should get much better field position. That was a really good punt after the low snap.
High snap this time, and a line drive delivery from Eckley. Ballard calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 25. 51-yard boot to flip the field, and Ohio State will have 141 to work with to finish this second quarter. Don't miss the hilarious new film, Please Don't Destroy the Treasure of Foggy Mountain, streaming November 17th exclusively on Peacock. And earlier this week, Ohio State fans got a first look at the new comedy in an exclusive screening here in Columbus. Some smiles, some laughs. Those guys are hilarious, by the way. The Please Don't Destroy guys. They are very funny. Very funny. I'm excited to watch it.
We should have got Ty Guy one of those hats.
Ty Guy would have looked good in one of those hats.
He likes getting the hats.
He does. A big hat guy. The hat zone.
Yeah.
All right, Ohio State all 3 timeouts to work with. They're going to start with Henderson on the ground, who pushes forward for 3. And you mentioned it would feel right to allow Kyle McCord to let loose a little bit here.
Well, and you've got great confidence in him right now because of the way he's played. And this first down is usually what kind of sets the tone for a 2-minute drive.
To the air, McCord, and a tough pass going to be incomplete. He was looking for Fleming.
First bad pass he's made the whole half. I mean, he has been on point, on time, and that one was not a good throw.
See the efficiency number, 16 of 20 for 200 yards, both touchdowns through the air going to Harrison. Now we'll see what Ryan Day dials up on a 3rd down and 7. Rutgers matched up again with the special talent Harrison at the bottom of the screen.
And it looks like single coverage on him too.
This one's blown, and a timeout called by Ohio State.
The ball was snapped. Timeout, Ohio State.
So just their first of the half. They'll have 2 remaining. Michigan State still has the 3 left. If they got the 3 and out, they could potentially use those and move their way down the field for a double dip, even if it is just a field goal. So big play on either side here. And for Harlan Barnett, again, it's the will to want to go out there and compete at a high level. These guys have shown it even today. They've gone down early, but they've played relatively well. The defense has gotten a couple of stops through this first couple of quarters, and the offense has moved the ball fairly efficiently. They just haven't punched it in.
Yeah, they've moved the ball okay, but again, a defense like this or a defense like Michigan that beat them badly in East Lansing, you can't expect to have 12, 13 play drives. You've got to get some big chunk plays, and so far they have not been able to do that. They've had some good plays, but not big chunk plays.
Johnson will line up out wide. 3rd and 7. Set it, screen, Harrison gets a block. Harrison makes one man miss, and he sees where the sticks are. He'll pick up the first down out of bounds. And that'll get him 1,000 yards on the season.
Yeah, I think this is Stover with the key block, right? He gets a key block, and then Fleming, or no, that's Abuka, number 2 out there. Stover and Abuka with big-time blocks, and then Harrison Jr. does the rest. Brian Hartline, the offensive coordinator, also the wide receiver coach, and he stresses blocking by these wideouts.
McCord dumps it down. Henderson, he's dangerous out of the backfield as a pass catcher, and he will put the head down and pick up the first down. That'll pause the clock with 1:01 to play.
Well, last week against Rutgers in the 4th quarter, probably the biggest play of the game offensively at the end was a play just like that, a check down, and he caught it and turned it into a 65-yard gain.
McCord, another one. Carnell Tate, the freshman. First down, stays on his feet out of bounds. Cal Holiday will catch up to him, but Tate with a pickup of 19.
You asked about Kyle McCord and is it experience, is it comfort? It's all that. And when you're comfortable and relaxed, you see the whole field. And you can tell by the way he's distributing the football. He's seeing what's open. He's not forcing it to Marvin Harrison Jr. He's getting it to him when he's got the matchups, but he's finding other open guys as well.
Now 50 seconds left, still the 2 timeouts. A lot more field to work with. McCord over the middle, Stover inside the 30 and forced forward to the 26 by Cal Holiday.
I think Ryan Day, did he call timeout or not?
Not yet.
No.
Clock will tick down here. McCord's going to have to hurry. Hand off Henderson. Henderson just barrels his way inside the red zone. First down.
Now the clock will stop until they reset the chain, so Kyle McCord can get him up to the line of scrimmage and have this play ready to go as soon as they call it ready.
McCord, end zone. Touchdown, Cade Stover. Tremendous throw from McCord.
Well, you're not kidding. Tremendous throw, because this is good coverage. And this is called throwing your man open. Watch Stover. He's just going to run a seam route, and the defender, the linebacker Jordan Hall, is on him. But the ball's thrown to the outside shoulder, and Hall has no idea where the ball is. If this ball's thrown inside, there's no chance it's complete. It's thrown perfectly by Kyle McCord, and it's another touchdown for the Buckeyes.
And that ties a career high 3 touchdown passes for Kyle McCord. 21st through the air on the season. And Stover caps off the 8-play, 74-yard drive. They go over 126 to get down the field and extend this to a 35-3 game with 15 seconds left.
Cade Stover for now 7 targets, 7 receptions, 79 yards, and that touchdown. And they've missed him in the lineup. He's a good run blocker, but he's an outstanding receiver. And he's sure-handed. They've targeted him 7 times tonight, 7 catches. Here he is blocking in the run game. This guy has played 3 different positions in his career at Ohio State. Defensive end, linebacker, but I think this is the right spot for him. Tight end, and he's going to play for a long time at the next level also as a tight end.
Grew up on a farm, and he said that's where his hard work comes from. Had to get up. Those cows don't milk themselves, as he said.
Right.
So he had to get up early. He was working hard from a young age. Ryan Day went to the farm to recruit the kid and loved every second of his visit. Was playing with a pig. As this will be a touchback taken in by Henry. And coming up on the Xfinity 10G Network halftime report, recap of this first half as Ohio State not only started fast but has continued through the first 2 quarters here at home. Georgia starting to flex its muscles a little bit in a top 10 showdown against Ole Miss, and then the big boys staying undefeated in that college football playoff picture. We'll recap everything back in the studio with Maria, Joshua, Matt, Ahmed, and Mike Robb. And Nicole. We've got quite the squad. Final 15 seconds here. We'll see what Caden Hauser and this Michigan State offense elects to do. Nate Carter's in there. You do have the 3 timeouts. You do get the football to start the second half. And this will be a handoff to Carter, and he's going backward. Caden Curry was the first one there. And Ohio State comes up with the football. Tyleik Williams has the football in his hands, but I don't think that they're going to get it. I would assume that he was ruled down by forward progress. Let's see. Right now the clock has zeros.
On the field is the runner's forward progress was stopped.
Well, if it's forward progress, that's not reviewable, right?
That's the end of the first half.
And that is how this second quarter will come to a close. So Ohio State nearly had a crazy finish that would have put them right in position to get more points on the board. They don't need it right now. They've got quite the pad. 35-3 after 2. With a quick start, we go down to Cade.
Coach, you got the fast start you wanted on offense from this group and contributions from all over the field. TreyVeon Henderson, Marvin Harrison, Cade Stover there with that last touchdown. What's impressed you most about this group?
Well, it's good to have everybody back, and that's what we expect. Every time we go on the field, we're expecting to score touchdowns. I like the way we ran the ball down in the red zone. Good to see us finishing a 2-minute drill. That's how it should look.
With such a commanding lead at the half, what will your message be to your group at halftime?
The same thing it was in the first half, just relentless effort, going as hard as you possibly can. And we got to be playing our best football here. And so I say all the time at halftime, you're either winning, losing, or it's tied. So right now we're winning, so we're going to do the same thing in the second half.
Coach, thank you very much.
You got it.
Noah?
Clear message from Ryan Day. He has got maximum effort out of his players, and in front of a home crowd, a packed house here in Ohio Stadium, a major lead through 2 quarters. 35-3, the Buckeyes, #1 in the country.
Let's go.
This first half recap brought to you by Geico.
I'm on a mission now. No, you can't stop me now. I keep it coming now. No, you can't stop me now. I'm on a mission now. I'm on a mission now. I'm gonna crank it loud and keep it coming now. No, you can't stop me now.
It's easy to Geico.
I'm on a mission now.
Time out for the big bulletin, brought to you by Genesis. 35-3, the #1 team in the country, dominant in the first half, and Kyle McCord, a big reason why. Getting more and more comfortable, had a couple of turnovers the last few games. How about 3 touchdowns to tie a career high in the first half? TreyVeon Henderson, healthy. He's been excellent the last 2 games in his return. That's continued in the first half with a rushing touchdown, and then really all the stars are out. Emeka Egbuka did have that 1 reception towards the end of the first half, but it's Harrison and Stover getting into the end zone. 3 total touchdowns for number 18, and then the TD, a career-high 7 receptions for the tight end, Cade Stover.
Yeah, really impressive first half. I mean, Kyle McCord was excellent. He was on point. They averaged 8.6 yards per play and over 360 yards of offense in that first half.
Fielding will send it away. Tyrell Henry back for Michigan State, and the fair catch inside the end zone will start this at the 25. So you've got a Michigan State offense coming out against one of the best defenses in the country. And Caden Hauser, a redshirt freshman, is gaining all of this experience against these high-quality teams.
Yeah.
Played against Michigan, started that game, has played against some good defenses in the Big Ten. Here's another test for him on how he can handle a situation like this, down big on the road to the #1 team in the country.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing here in the second half is he's got to try to be as efficient as possible on early downs. If they throw on first down, he can't miss. He can't come up 2nd and 10. You can't get behind the sticks against this Ohio State defense. You have to stay on schedule. I think the offensive line has played pretty good tonight.
They ran the ball fairly effectively, 64 yards on the ground in the first half, and Carter slips through to pick up 5 on first down.
See, that's a win. So you're on schedule now at 2nd and 5. You've got 2 downs to get 5 yards in essence.
And for Michigan State, you just see so many of these guys that are out there that are young, that are still learning on the fly, but it bodes well. Arlen Barnett is excited for what the future of this program looks like for guys like Caden Hauser, guys like Nate Carter, who have years, not just 1, but years of eligibility left. Carter gets wrapped up immediately after the handoff, picked up quickly by Sonny Styles.
Yeah, Sonny Styles, again, he's a great blitzer, and especially if he times the snap count. And that's what he does. Watch him hit it at full speed. He's unblocked, but he got there so quickly because he timed Caden Hauser's snap count and was in the backfield.
Joyner has been the consistent 3rd down back. He's out there. Michigan State still looking for that first 3rd down conversion tonight. And Hauser can't find it. Off target, looking for Henry. So a 3 and out to start this second half. It'll be the quick punt for Michigan State, and Ohio State gets off the field. That defense again, just showcasing it. It's not anything stylistically that's all that impressive. It's just consistent, consistent production from the defensive side.
And it's the front working with the back end. I mean, they don't have a lot of sacks, but they have a lot of pressures. And that pressure leads to incompletions. So their completion percentage of quarterbacks against them, under 50%. The yards per attempt, under 5 yards. And it's just been an outstanding defensive performance through 10 games, or 9.5 games now so far.
Eckley to punt it away. And gets a good one off here. Forces Ballard all the way back inside the 10. Stutter step move. Ballard in between the space, surveys, and Ballard tripped up from behind. Just didn't quite have the speed as he returns at 14 yards. The 60-yard boot from Eckley. And Brown catches up to chop him down.
Well, Marvin Harrison, as a receiver, he was targeted 8 times, 6 catches. This is the first time he touched the ball in the opening possession. Little end around, get him in space, give him the football, and he scores. You get him in one-on-one with no safety help, that's a win. 90% of the time for number 18. This is a beautiful route. Just sets up the defender, takes the leverage away, and a nice timing throw by Kyle McCord. And we've seen Marvin Harrison just do a little bit of everything tonight. And I really like how Ryan Day moves him around, puts him in different spots, different sides, finds way to get him the football.
McCord looking for him deep down the middle. Harrison's got it. Tripped up across the 25. It's his world. We're living in it.
See, they moved him from one side of the formation to the other. And it's kind of a bail technique. As soon as that safety goes up, Kyle McCord knows I can take a shot at the deep post. He sees the safety come up to the line of scrimmage, and he knows he has one-on-one, and he hits him to start the third quarter.
57-yard pop. Harrison up to 149 yards receiving. Traina, the give. And he plunges forward for 2. The connection going back to their days at St. Joe's Prep in high school.
Again, good solid footwork, good timing, and an accurate throw. And I've said it earlier in the first half, this is the best I've seen Kyle McCord look all season. Very confident, very comfortable, seeing the field and throwing the ball extremely well.
And he just keeps climbing the record books here in Columbus. Ties David Boston, #1 all-time, 100-plus yard receiving games.
Well, you know, the first game of the year against Indiana, only 2 catches, 18 yards. Only 3 for 32 against Notre Dame. And then against Rutgers last week, I said 4 catches, 25 yards, but 2 touchdowns. Every other game, well over 100 yards.
McCord looking end zone. He overthrows Ibuka into double coverage. Like Ibuka was looking for a flag to come in. He won't get it this time. Meanwhile, McCord is tied a career high with 320 yards. Already has tied with 3 touchdowns on a career high.
Emeka Ibuka got up a little slow at the end of that play and asked to come out of the game. He's walked off to the sideline. Again, is battling an ankle injury. It was a pretty significant injury. And just fighting to get back.
And moving Harrison around, more in the slot here. McCord lofted, Harrison open, can't get it. Great play by Malik Spencer as he knocks it free.
It was a great play, but it was a little bit of an underthrown ball. If the ball's thrown to the back pylon, it's a 4th touchdown catch for Marvin Harrison Jr. because he has separation. But because the ball was underthrown, Spencer was able to gather ground and knock the ball away. McCord knew he had it, and he just kind of threw it off his back foot and didn't get enough on the football.
So it'll lead to a 36-yard field goal attempt for Jaden Fielding, who is 10 for 11 on the season and knocks through his 11th on the year. Extends it 38-3 as McCord drives him down, stalls out, but a 35-point advantage. OHIO, you'll hear it throughout Columbus, and right now could stand for a lot of things. For the #1 team in the country, looking every bit the part on this Veterans Day here at Ohio Stadium. They extend the lead 3 as they will kick it away. Michigan State will get the football back, but the fans have been delighted, all leading to that collision course it feels like at the end of the season, last week of the year, with that rematch. As always, one of the best rivalries in college football in Ann Arbor against Michigan. And this is a kick that will be caught. Fair catch inside the 5, down now to the 25. We'll start this drive as we go downstairs once again. KT.
Well, Ohio State has ramped up his Heisman campaign for Marvin Harrison Jr. with this "Here Comes the Sun." Marvin Harrison Sr. said, "It's all chatter. It's not what we came into this season for. We came in so he can be the best wide receiver, the best player in college football, and go above and beyond expectations." Ryan Day told us yesterday, "I've seen all the best in the game. He's as good as everyone else out there. He deserves to be in the most outstanding player conversation."
Well, he definitely deserves that. I mean, you know, I think he is the best player in college football. Now, whether or not he'll win the Heisman, that's tough for a wide receiver. But he is the best player, I think, in college football.
Hauser to Parachek for 4 yards. That'll put their total, Michigan State, at 127 on the day. Harrison has 149 yards receiving by himself. These are the wide receiver winners of the Heisman Trophy, most recently, of course, in 2020, Devontae Smith. And, you know, Marvin talks to Devontae, and he even acknowledged that was a different year. Yeah. Not everybody was playing a full slate of games, and Alabama's offense was off the charts. Of course, went on to win a national championship. But he really said he just would love to be even invited to New York. That would be an honor for him. He knows how hard it is to win it at this position, how reliant you are on everybody else doing their job at a high level.
Yeah, well, the thing is, too, and as a Heisman voter myself, I pay attention to how guys play in the biggest games. And he'll have that opportunity in 2 weeks in Ann Arbor. And if he plays like this in a game of that magnitude, it'd be hard to not invite him to New York.
There's Malik Carr in there for the first time. Big body tight end. We'll see if they can find him on this 3rd and 2. Play action. Hauser looking, and it's caught, but looks like maybe right at the line. Parachek made the catch, and it's going to depend on the spot as to where they eventually mark this.
Again, in special situations, this defense is so good. 3rd down, goal line, red zone. They come up with the plays.
And they are going to give them a 1st down. So it was an initial discussion. And that is the first 3rd down conversion of the night for Harlan Barnett's team. So fresh set of downs. Mangum in there as the running back. Hauser dials it up. On target. 1st down. Sliding grab for Fitzpatrick.
Nice job coming back in his progressions. He's looking left. And then he stepped up in the pocket. He thought about running, but he found a receiver to his right and got it to him.
To the outside, Henry. The shimmy shake gets him 5.
Michigan State going with a little tempo here. Not substituting and not huddling, so they're forcing Ohio State to keep the same personnel on the field as well.
Hang him back in there. Good to see Carr back on the field. He means so much to this offense. 6'6", 260. And the redshirt junior missed last week's game. Just so productive from that tight end spot. Nice slant, and it's broken up. Excellent play by Igbinosun to get his hand in the cookie jar and force the incompletion.
Igbinosun's got really long arms. I mean, he's 6'2", 190 pounds. He was a starter as a freshman at Ole Miss last year and transferred to Ohio State this year and did a beautiful job getting one of those long arms in there and knocking the ball away.
So 3rd and 5, Carr back to the sideline. And we've seen Joyner in there. We'll see if maybe they can find him out of the backfield. Good opportunity for growth continued here for Cade Hauser. The redshirt freshman stepping up in pressure, spinning away, and he's dumped. Tyleik Williams, the incredible athleticism at 6'2", 290 on full display.
Well, watch the little stunt between the linebacker Simon and Tyleik. Simon is going to knock the blocker off for Tyleik Williams. Watch Simon's course. He hits the lineman, and that opens things up for Tyleik Williams. And then they force Cade Hauser to move up in the pocket. They have not blitzed very much. That time they brought a 5th rusher, Cody Simon, and they executed the stunt perfectly.
9.5 tackles for losses for Tyleik Williams. That leads the team. As Eckley will send it away. Fair catch called for and made by Jaden Ballard at the 8-yard line. 35-yard boot to flip the field. Ohio State takes over, up big at home. Tomorrow night, Sauce Gardner and the Jets take on Devontae Adams and the Raiders. Coverage begins 7 p.m. Eastern on NBC, Telemundo, and Peacock with Football Night in America. And then Mike, Chris, Melissa have the call. One of the guys they'll see, reigning AFC Offensive Rookie of the Year, Garrett Wilson, of course, a standout receiver here at Ohio State, and making plays like that in the NFL, which are pretty impressive.
How about the game C.J. Stroud had last week? Not bad, right? Set a rookie record.
Yeah, I've heard that's pretty good. Led a comeback drive in the final minute of the game, and Marvin Harrison Jr. likely done for the day. Will stay on the sideline here. He learned a lot from Garrett Wilson. Said that he really took a lot from Wilson and Jackson Smith and Jigba in his first couple of years here on campus. Xavier Johnson will run it for maybe a yard. This is an Ohio State offense that, again, a lot of people I think have questioned just how good they are. And there's some validity to that, to the fact that they haven't been fully healthy. So we haven't known how good they can be. But if this is the fully healthy look of this Ohio State offense against a pretty good Michigan State defense, they've got talent. This is going to be pretty frightening, I would say, for teams around the country.
Yeah, I think the biggest question about the offense was the running game, because it just didn't seem to be on par with the passing game. But TreyVeon Henderson missed 3 games, too. And we've already discussed at length what a difference he makes to the running game.
Handoff. Big hole, Chip Traina. And the excellent run from the former linebacker.
Yeah, he transferred from Arizona State, was brought in out of the portal to be a linebacker, but they had depth at that position and needed some help at running back, and he's become an outstanding alternative running back.
Of course, had the game-winning touchdown against Notre Dame week 4 from just on the goal line. As time essentially expired, they eventually put 1 second back up on the clock. Traina this time, nowhere to run. He's going to lose 5. Ken Talley, Derek Harmon among the white jerseys there to make the stop. So 2nd and 14. His Michigan State defense, they're missing still a decent amount of firepower. They've gotten some back, but still no Charles Brantley. Marquis Lowry out. Chris Bogle is out. Darius Snow not available. And then most importantly, their top cornerback, Dylan Tatum, is not available for this game. And he's not just their top cornerback, but their defensive coordinator, Scotty Hazelton, says they could line him pretty much anywhere in the defensive backfield as McCord just finds over the middle, train him on the dump down across the 30. You don't have a guy like that to match up with a Marvin Harrison Jr. It's going to make life a lot more difficult for a defense that's played better, especially the last couple of weeks. But Tatum just means so much for their back line. Here's a 3rd down and 6.
You see Ohio State is being very patient, deliberate on offense right now, using that clock, feeling very comfortable with this 35-point lead. Starting offensive line in and Kyle McCord in, but backups in a lot of other spots.
McCord fading away, is going to dirt it. Felt the pressure directly in his face. Aaron Brule up the gut.
Looked like they were trying to set up some kind of a middle screen, but nothing really there, and McCord had to get rid of it.
So McCord, career high 328 yards, ties a career high with 3 touchdowns, 2 of them to Harrison. And we'll see just how much more we're going to get of Kyle McCord with an uber efficient day. Marco's going to come back on for the punt. Tyrell Henry will be back for Michigan State. And there's a lot of confusion. That is definitely not a legal
Ohio State, their first of the half.
Formation for Ohio State. So they burn their first timeout. 5:41 to play in this 3rd quarter. All right, you look at Ohio State. We can talk all we want about what they're going to look like potentially at their ceiling. We know what this all leads to for them, and it's that final week against Michigan. And it's interesting because both teams obviously have come, and if Ohio State can continue what they're doing so far for the final quarter and a half here, they're going to come away with a win. Michigan with a massive win today over in Happy Valley against Penn State. You can't overlook the game before that. And I think both teams have to recognize, look, Ohio State has Minnesota here in Columbus. Michigan goes to Maryland, and Maryland got back on the right track today. They had faltered a bit the previous couple of weeks. Those are two games against two programs that've got a lot of pride. They've got a lot of talent. They've got head coaches that get the most out of their players. A good Ohio State bounce on this punt will be down at the 27. Will be interesting to discuss further as this game progresses. 41-yard punt keeps it at a 35-point game. Well, all the talk in the Big Ten East coming in, and really the conference overall, was the three heavyweights. You've got Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. Here's how they've all fared so far this season. Ohio State and Michigan unblemished, and Penn State, well, they've got two losses. The first one was to Ohio State, the second one earlier today against Michigan, and it all leads to that final week of the season when Ohio State and Michigan, two teams in the college football playoff right now, if the season were to end, will go toe-to-toe once again and renew that rivalry for all the marbles, as Hauser will fire short and Gates the intended target. Ryan Day, we know that he's had nothing but success realistically while he's been here as the head coach, but if you don't win that Michigan game, a lot of people in Columbus aren't real happy, and so it'll mean a lot for Day. It'll mean a lot for the Wolverines to prove that they belong at the very top of the rankings. It's just going to be a lot of fun for college football.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, Ryan Day has as many losses to Michigan, which is 2, as if you combine Jim Tressel, Luke Fickell, and Urban Meyer, the last 3 coaches, they had 2 combined. And that just doesn't sit well with the fan base here, as good as he's been. In college football playoff 3 of the last 4 years.
Ty Hamilton with a big tackle there.
But the good news, I think, is you want to be playing your best football in November.
Yeah.
And I think Ohio State is trending that way. Their defense has been solid all year. And I don't think they're going to fall off like they did last year in the last 2 games defensively. I think they're a much better defensive team. And offensively, they're starting to get their thing together here with both the run and the pass.
Their defensive coordinator, Jim Knowles, has been adamant that everybody knows where they're supposed to be so they can play faster defensively. This one goes to Joyner out of the backfield. He's going to be short of the first down as Simon forced him out of bounds. So there's a confidence on the defensive end. Harlan Barnett continues to get just learning experiences against these top 10 teams. There's Jim Knowles. There's confidence from that defensive end, and the players really feel like they're buying in. And then as a result, you talk to the offense players, they go, well, they give us energy. They provide us energy because they give us great field position. So we're fired up. Meanwhile, Michigan State's going to go here on 4th down and 1 in their own territory. They're 1 for 1 on 4th down. That was the fake punt earlier in the game. Mangum is the running back. Give it to him, push him forward. Mangum's going to get the first down and keep the drive alive.
Good tough run. He's the guy who also ran it on that fake punt on the 4th down in the first half, and just shows you his power. Nice double team right there between the center, Nick Samak, and the right guard, Kevin Wigginton. And a new set of downs for Michigan State.
The other thing in all of this is Harlan Barnett got thrust into this role as the interim head coach a couple games into the season, a couple of weeks into the season. It's a very similar position to what Ryan Day had when he was first named that acting head coach when Urban Meyer retired, as Hauser flushed out of the pocket, fires on the run, incomplete. And in the direction of Henry, flag does come in as he was matched up with the freshman Malik Hartford.
Yeah, Malik Hartford is a true freshman out of Westchester, Lakota West High School, near the Columbus area.
Pass interference. Defense number 25. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's the first penalty against the Buckeyes tonight.
I don't know. They were both kind of hand fighting in there. I don't know. I don't see a lot there to draw a pass interference.
We're getting the nod of no from Terry McCauley, so I think he agrees with you, Ty.
The nod of disgust, Terry McCauley.
Meanwhile, Mangum on the ground, evades to the outside. Nice run by Mangum across the 40. So as I was saying, you've got these two coaches that have had similar experiences, and we asked Ryan Day what that's like to take over mid-season, because that's a challenge for anybody, and certainly given the circumstance of what Michigan State has had for Harlan Barnett. And what Ryan Day told us was you really got to rely on your leadership from your players, and you've got to be yourself. Don't try to be a coach you've had. Don't try to be the coach that was there before you. Be yourself and let that kind of carry as a leader.
And he also said you got to empower the guys on the staff and allow them to coach, because a lot of those guys might have been thinking, hey, maybe I should have been the guy that got that tab. And it was Ryan Day instead. And so, you know, he did a great job taking over there. And ever since he's been the full-time head coach, he's been outstanding.
Just feel this confidence.
Let's take a look from the Walmart Plus look from above. Jaron Mangum has had a pretty good productive game, but that time stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A lot of backups in now for this Ohio State defense, getting good game reps here as we're approaching the end of the third quarter.
And you can see Nick Samac is being helped off the field. That's the starting center for Michigan State. They've had no issues interior offensive line. Duplain, Samac, and Wigington have been their guys.
Yeah.
It's been the tackles that have been the issues. They've had somewhat of musical chairs there. So to see Samac go out would be problematic for these last couple of weeks.
Looks like Dallas Fincher, number 72, may be coming in to take his place.
Ball leads to a 3rd down and 3.
Well, the first thing Dallas Fincher needs to do is make a good snap. Before he worries about who he's blocking, the first thing he's got to do is make a good snap. And it looks like Cade Hauser is going to be under the center and not in the shotgun.
Malik Carr in there, Evan Morris in there. Mangum getting the call. Handoff, Mangum slips through, 1st down, nice run. He's had a productive game.
Yes, yeah, he has. It's not a lot of yards, just a little over 30 yards, 35 yards on 9 carries, but he's running for tough yards. He's got good forward lean when football.
Hauser delivers. Oh, dangerous throw. It was batted down. Jermaine Matthews, the other true freshman, getting time with a nice play on the football with Alante Brown there.
Yeah, Jermaine Matthews just really squatted on that route. He was not fearing that the receiver was going to go deep. Kind of came out of that play with a jammed finger, but Jermaine Matthews, another true freshman, getting a lot of playing time. When Denzel Burke was going through some of his injury issues, Jermaine Matthews had to play a lot of snaps in the big win against Penn State. And in the last couple of weeks, he's played well.
Jim Knowles said it's not ideal to have Matthews and Malik Hartford out there as much as we have, as Malik Carr is going to get a catch and run here and picks up 8. And a flag down in the backfield. They did say that he's been happy with the way they've produced. He's been happy with the way they've handled themselves in some bigger moments.
Holding. Offense number 67. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
J.D. Duplain, the captain, starting his 40th consecutive game here tonight.
Yeah, and Duplain is really just trying to get rid of this block and get out in front of the screen. Watch him right here. He's just going to he is going to throw the defender down, but he's just trying to get out in front of the play. But you just can't grab and throw a guy that way. Engage with him and then disengage and get out in front of the play.
Pretty impressive Ironman streak for Duplain. 2nd most in a row in school history. Shane Hanna did it 44 consecutive times. Carter back in there, 2nd down and 20. Hauser, dump it. Gates couldn't come up with it. He was leveled as he was crossing the field by Cody Simon. And what a luxury to have Cody Simon as your replacement for Tommy Eichenberg, a captain who's such a big part of the defense. Eichenberg out for this game. You can just insert Cody Simon, and Jim Knowles is like, yeah, I feel confident with that guy too.
I talked to James Laurinaitis, who's a GA, wants to be a coach. He works with the linebackers, and he was saying He's quietly trying to convince Cody Simon to come back next year. You know, that it would really be a good move for him to come back. Steele Chambers and Eichenberg will both be moving on, and he could be too. He wants him to come back, be a captain, and have a great season.
Hand it to Carter on the 10th play of the drive, and he'll gain a yard and make it 4th down and 19. So now we'll see what Michigan State elects to do. In all likelihood, they will punt this away unless they want to attempt another incredibly long field goal. Not going to be the case this time. I mean, Jonathan Kim did make it from 58 at Kinnick, and he had the leg on the 56-yarder to open the game. Made it from 53, but it will be Ryan Eckley. Eckley gets it away. Fair catch called for and made by Jaden Ballard. 39-yard punt, and this will start from the 8-yard line. Blake Shelton, Carson Daly, and Nikki Garcia star in Barmageddon, the wildest celebrity competition show on television. The games return Monday at 11 on USA.
I've not seen that show, but I think our producer, Marvelous Marv, that's one of his favorite shows, I think.
Yeah, he was high on his list.
Yeah.
That's what I hear. I've got to check it out because I trust that Marv's opinion is very correct. He's generally led us in the right direction.
Yeah.
All right, final 7 seconds of this third quarter. Ohio State back on the offensive end, and Kyle McCord will take this snap at the very least, and then we'll see what happens for the fourth quarter.
Well, remember, Devin Brown, the normal backup, is still recovering from an ankle injury, so they would have to go even further down the depth chart if they want to take Kyle McCord out. I can't imagine they would play Devin Brown at all unless it was an emergency situation tonight. Tristan
Gebbia would be the next guy up, the transfer from Oregon State. We go to the fourth here in Columbus. All OSU the entire way. 38-3 after 3 for the #1 team in the country. On the field and then back in the end zone, and Georgia's rolling down the stretch in that game.
Yeah, I mean, again, you want to be playing your best football down the stretch, and for Georgia to do that, getting one of their best players, if not the best player, back is going to be huge for that.
And Carson Beck really starting to settle in that starting quarterback slot as well, similar to Kyle McCord.
Yeah.
First-year starters. McCord hands off Johnson, who's had a couple of carries today. Now he reverses field. Johnson makes a man miss. Johnson into a crowd and a big gain to the 35. Maverick Hansen is the one who made the tackle. He's slow to get up, picks up 27 yards on the ground.
Yeah, just completely changes course. And again, this is a guy who is a wide receiver, but also giving reps as a running back. So you see him running out in space like a wide receiver.
And Hansen gets knocked right there and is still down on the field.
What a hustle play by Hansen. He's a big man chasing that play down the field from behind and took the worst of it at the end. 6'4", 300-pounder.
Fifth-year senior from Farmington Hills, Michigan. Has been one of those key rotation pieces up front for a solid front seven on this Michigan State defense. Meanwhile, Xavier Johnson was voted a captain. Shows you what his teammates think of him. He's been here for a while now, a grad student, as Todd had mentioned, has spent time at running back, at cornerback here at Ohio State, now at wide receiver, but getting more reps in the backfield with the injury to Mayan Williams. It's been Henderson, Trainum, and Johnson so far carrying the football, and Harrison on the end around had the first touchdown of the day on his first touch for 19 yards.
You know, we talked about one of the things that's been really good for Michigan State the last couple of weeks is getting their defensive linemen healthy and being able to rotate. He's the third guy that we've seen taken out of the game. Simeon Barrow was the first guy to come out. Now he's returned. Zion Young was helped off, had to go in the tent for a while. And now Maverick Hansen, the third defensive lineman tonight that has had to be assisted off the field.
So a fresh set of downs. Chip Trainum, the running back. Likely no more TreyVeon Henderson and no more Marvin Harrison Jr. the rest of the way. Another completion from McCord. This one, Carnell Tate across the 40 as he's dragged down at the 42-yard line. Take a look at the college football playoff standings. So these were the top 6 in the first rendition of these, and now, in all likelihood, so long as Oregon takes care of business later today, it will continue to be the case as all of these teams are well on their way to another victory.
Yeah, I don't see it changing at all again next week. I mean, if things continue the way they look like they're continuing. Of course, Oregon plays USC later tonight, right?
Correct. And the Caleb Williams show can always put a damper on things. No more Alex Grinch, a defensive coordinator for SC. We'll see what the Trojans look like against a high-powered Oregon offense. Handoff, Traynham finds some space, and Traynham into Michigan State territory as he is dumped down at the 48. We go to KT.
Well, Pro Football Hall of Famer Marvin Harrison knows the importance of this time of year in the college football schedule, as you guys were talking about. He told me this week there are no more excuses. The players need to ask themselves, am I playing the best possible at my position, or can I be better in the next 30 days? He then said, I don't think that this group has collectively played a complete game, and that stands out the most to me. And that's a good thing, he said. It allows them to thrive, and hopefully it will arrive when they need it most. He said every player needs to look in the mirror at this time of the season, Noah.
All right, KT, thanks so much. So, new quarterback in now. It is Lincoln Kienholz, freshman from Pierre, South Dakota. One of the top-ranked quarterback recruits in this past class. 6'2", 200. Saw him warming up on the field.
Yeah, he's got a good arm. He can throw it. And, yeah, you could tell he had a little bounce in his step, like he thought he might get a chance to play tonight. He was getting a lot of reps in warm-ups as the #2 guy behind Kyle McCord, and so he's in there and gets a chance now with 12.5 minutes left in the ball game.
By the way, heck of a day for Kyle McCord.
Yeah.
24 of 31, 335 yards and 3 touchdowns. So we'll see what Kienholz has on a 2nd and 4. Play action and a completion. Excellent job on the play call, and the yards after the catch coming for Jelani Thurman, a tight end.
Good ball fake. Watch him really sell this fake to Traynham. Hides the football. That enabled him to get outside with no pressure and then make the little soft throw.
So Thurman utilizing that frame for Kienholz. They were hoping maybe he'd get here earlier, but he decided to stay back and play on his high school's basketball and baseball teams. 3-sport athlete, excelled at all of them. And we'll see what he's made of in his first real action here. Evan Pryor also in the backfield, and he's got the handoff. Pryor up the gut, dragging tackle for 5. So you get to go a little deeper into their depth chart if you're Ohio State.
Yeah.
And if you're Michigan State, again, this is something that Harlan Barnett stressed with us, is playing against these top 10 teams. You want to play against good teams because it sets the foundation for your program moving forward. He believes with guys like Caden Hauser, the youthful energy that he's brought, the youthful energy that surrounds him, these are experiences now that you can carry into the next couple of seasons.
Yeah, they are. It's just still frustrating. I mean, they've played 3 top 10 teams, and they are losing by a combined score of 128-10. So, I mean, it's there's not a whole lot to hang your hat on with that, other than if you do ever turn it around and win a game like this, you'll sure appreciate it.
Play action pass. It'll go right back to Jelani Thurman, and then he is upended. He somehow stayed upright.
The thing I will say about Michigan State that impresses me, again, when I watch film or even watching tonight, there's no quit in the team. I mean, they're still out there playing hard for Harlan Barnett and his staff. And that's a credit to him and a credit to the assistants that they've not lost the football team. Now, they had some guys transfer out, you know, when things started to go awry early. But the guys that have stayed have played hard, and they've played together, and they just have not had success. But there's some positive in the fight and the toughness that they've shown.
Pryor on 3rd down and 1 will pick up the 1st down. We were there, and a flag is down on the field on the sideline. We were there a couple weeks ago in East Lansing. We were there for practice, and the energy at that practice was legit.
Offense, 5 players lined up in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Have to see exactly what this looked like. Ryan Day not happy on the sideline, either with his players or with the officials for making the call. But we were at that Michigan State practice. That was a genuine level of intensity and focus from that team, a team that at the time had endured a long losing streak that they didn't actually break until last week against Nebraska, their last true home game of the season at Spartan Stadium, in a 3-point victory. And they pulled out a lot of the stops in that game. A couple of gadget plays, a couple of trick plays, and another whistle. This one's going to be a timeout for Ohio State.
Before the ball was snapped, timeout, Ohio State, their second of the half.
Some extra activity after the whistle. Final 9.5 here in Columbus. Ohio State up 35.
McCord can't play much better than that. 24-31, 335 yards and 3 touchdowns. And I just loved everything about his game tonight. I just thought his footwork was great. Decision making, reading the coverages, seeing the field, his accuracy, his timing. It's as good as I've seen Kyle McCord play. And that's great news for Ryan Day and the Ohio State Buckeyes, that their starting quarterback, their first-year starting quarterback, is playing his best football right now. And it helps throwing to that guy, because that guy is special.
3rd and 6 for Lincoln Keenholz in the Ohio State offense. Play action pass. They're going to let him go to the end zone. Incomplete. Broken up by Kimbrough. He was looking for Ballard. Fans remaining here wanted a flag. They won't get it.
A lot of hand fighting. Both guys got their hands on each other, and it was a good play on the ball by Kimbrough. I think that's a good no call. He just made a nice play on the football.
So it'll get Jaden Fielding back out for another field goal attempt. Already hit from 36 earlier in the second half. This one will be from 42 yards out. And Fielding's kick. No good. Missed it. Wide left. So Fielding can't extend the lead. Michigan State does get the stop. And we stay pat at 38-3. Dude, special. Joshua Perry killing these game breaks, by the way.
Yeah.
LSU looking for a big win there. And Daniels, it just feels like every time they need a massive play, not just a, hey, conversion, no, a game-breaking, game-altering type of play, Daniels is there to provide it for him, as Nate Carter runs hard per usual and gets to the 30-yard line. So extended minutes and extended action as expected for a lot of the starters for Michigan State. Cade Hauser, they were hoping to just have him go for the full game, as Kyle McCord is going to get a rest the rest of the way. Final 9 minutes here in Columbus. And Nate Carter, when we talked to Harlan Barnett and his coaching staff about Carter this week, he had such a strong start to the season, and he's tailed off statistically. They said a big reason why is he hasn't had a chance to really go through a full season and understand what is required to take care of that body at the correct level. Not to say he's not doing that, but understanding, taking those hits, the toll that it takes on your body, and knowing how to properly recover and go about everything the right way so that you can extend yourself for this final stretch run of a season.
Well, and also with the absence of Jalen Berger, and now we've seen Mangum come in to give him a break, but they didn't have that. And the last 4 games for Michigan State, their leading rusher had not gone over 55 yards. And so right now, Nathan Carter is sitting there at 11 carries and 52 yards.
And that was, movement quick.
Everybody moved, but the center didn't snap it.
Can we get it? Everybody but the center? I mean, I always like
Ball
it.
start. Offense. Everyone but the center.
Yes!
5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
It's one of the best calls in football.
Yeah. Well, remember, Nick Samac is no longer in the game. It's Fincher.
So with Fincher in there, the mental error will back up Michigan State to a 3rd down and 9.
They might have to tap him on this one. The guard might have to tap him and let him know.
Parachek was the motion man. Hauser over the middle. It's caught, but well short of the sticks. Meanwhile, big hit delivered to Cade Hauser. Harold Joyner could not get there. Hauser's going to get up and walk off, but he took a major pop.
Well, again, great third down defense by Ohio State tonight as you see the end of the play. 2 of 13 on third down conversions, and just this Ohio State defense continues to play a very stingy style. Coming into the game, averaging only giving up
Ohio State became number 42.
10.7 points per game. Second best in the FBS behind Michigan coming into the game today. And only 3 points on the board right now for Michigan State.
Michael O'Shaughnessy is going to punt it away for Michigan State. Fair catch is going to be called for and made at the 23. So oh yeah, O'Shag Hennessy with a nice boot. Aerial coverage brought to you by Ford. Ohio State up 38-3 here in Columbus earlier today. State College, Pennsylvania, Beaver Stadium. Number 3 Michigan, number 10 Penn State. No Jim Harbaugh on the sideline. This is the second half. Drew Aller fumbles the football. Michigan would recover. That would lead to a field goal to extend the lead to 8. And then after a 4th down stop, late 4th quarter, Blake Corum, the deuce, is loose. Big touchdown to seal the game, 30-yard scamper. He had a massive day, and he was bleeding from his face after the victory. Michigan, without Jim Harbaugh, now 4-0 on the season. They win it 24-15 as Pryor is devoured in the backfield by Brule. So, look, Michigan, they get the win. A lot going on with the program, certainly the last 48 hours. Jim Harbaugh suspended for the final 3 games of the season, and everyone's been looking forward to that Week 13 game against Ohio State. But they've got a lot going on just in general. This was an impressive way to showcase what they have on the field with a win today.
Yeah, you know, the timing of the suspension was a little, strange, and it happened. He found out as they were flying to State College. I got the sense, I talked to Tony Petitti last Saturday, I got the sense something was going to happen. I think Jim Harbaugh had the sense something was going to happen. And it was one of those things where he's kind of can't win, because if you're a Michigan people or fans, you're going to say, let due process run its course. You can't act ahead, but he's feeling pressure from 13 other coaches and athletic directors to do something. And if you're Michigan, it could have been worse, right? I mean, he's suspended for the last 3 games. I think they're going to take some legal action to see if they can get an injunction to where that would not be the case for the last 2 games. But he can coach during the week, so he can still be involved with the team, the game plan, all of that. All that being said, I thought what Michigan did today with Sharon Moore as the offensive coordinator, play caller, and acting head coach was impressive. And they went into State College, played a really good defensive football team, and it was a close game, and they made some great adjustments. They started out the game, Penn State was getting after them with their edge rushers. They're really talented, and they said, you know what, we're going to change courses. We're going to stop throwing. We're going to put big people in the game. We're going to run the football. And at one point, at the end of the first half and through the whole second half, they ran the ball 30 consecutive plays and just took over the game and played bully ball and found a way to win in a very gritty fashion. And so it was an impressive win. And, we've covered that team, right?
Yes.
And we've talked to their players, and we know how close that team is. It's a very close football team. And I think the circumstances of this week maybe even galvanize them even more.
Jim Harbaugh has maintained he has not known anything and still does not know anything about the in-person scouting that the NCAA investigation is looking into. Ohio State punts it back to Michigan State. 4:16 remaining here in Columbus.
With Discover, every fan earns cash back on their game day purchases. Discover, the official card of the Big Ten.
Well, Bruder's getting some diamond push-ups in.
Yeah. Good
tricep strength. Brutus deceptively strong, by the way. And a new quarterback in there now for Michigan State. It's the 5th-year senior walk-on, Drew Scorfar. And he'll hand it off Joyner, and he is leveled in the backfield. Loses 3. It's got to be a nice moment for Scorfar. 5th-year senior walk-on, first collegiate appearance, and it happens here at Ohio State.
Well, you know, part of the reason we're seeing him is because Sam Levitt, the freshman quarterback who was the backup, he has already played 4 games. And so there was some question, was he going to try to keep his red shirt or was he going to play tonight? Last week they had a plan. They played him the 3rd series of the first half and the second half. And clearly tonight we get the answer that Sam Levitt, they're going to protect his red shirt. And so that's why we're seeing the 5th-year senior.
And he'll hand it off again. Joyner will push the pile to the 30. Meanwhile, Noah Kim, who started the first 5 games of the season, has been technically available as an emergency quarterback, but he's been battling an injury ever since Cade Hauser took over, and that injury is very legitimate.
Yeah.
I talked to the coaching staff. They didn't realize how serious it actually was until they got to the bye week and recognized, oh, we got to handle this. So Kim wasn't going to be the guy to come in, and as you mentioned, Levitt wasn't going to be the guy to come in. So that means Scorfar's in there, and he'll get his first action. We'll see if he can throw his first collegiate pass here on 3rd and 9. Scorfar to the outside. It goes low. It is a completion behind the sticks, and Tyrell Henry has to go down to get it. So 4th down and long upcoming. So 3 and out. Clock dwindles down here for Harlan Barnett, who was very honest with us when you asked him about the full-time job and becoming the head coach at Michigan State. We talked about it off the top. This is somebody who bleeds green. This is his school. He attended. He's coached here for a long time, a couple different stints, and he said it's not going to be easy. In fact, it might be impossible to find anybody who is as passionate about the Spartans as I am. He has been told he will be getting at minimum an interview. And after last week's win, excitement around the program and what this could look like. So Harlan Barnett actively interviewing and auditioning for the job full-time in East Lansing. Not many who did it better than 45 for Ohio State. Archie Griffin, the only 2-time Heisman winner. There have been many who have tried. Matt Leinart, 2004 winner, finished 3rd. The next year, his teammate actually won it. Tim Tebow, 2007 winner, 3rd the next year. Manziel, similar deal. Jameis Winston, 6th in his bid. Lamar Jackson, 3rd. Bryce Young, 6th in his bid last year in 2022. But Archie Griffin did it, 74-75. That's who everybody's chasing, that elusive back-to-back Heisman, the only person to do it, just so dominant on the ground wearing that 45. And there are a couple guys who have most certainly put themselves in the Heisman conversation this year. Caleb Williams is the guy who's trying to be that back-to-back winner. In all likelihood, just based on how the season has shaken out for USC, he's out of the running, but you never know. Crazier things have happened. A ridiculous, wild stretch to end the season. They find their way to the Pac-12 championship and get all the way through. Maybe things happen, but still putting up fantastic numbers.
Yeah, fantastic numbers. The thing that's hurting Caleb Williams as much as anything is there's 2 other quarterbacks in the same league that he's playing in that are having great years, and Michael Penix Jr. at Washington and Bo Nix at Oregon. So that they're taking votes away from each other because they're all having outstanding season. I still think Marvin Harrison Jr. is right there in the thick of things, and deservedly so. And then, of course, Jaden Daniels, we've been talking about his numbers. The thing that's working against Jaden Daniels is the fact that they have 3 losses as a team.
And Florida
is hard.
Florida just brought that game to within 3 with
10.5
minutes left. So if Florida finds a way to win that game, both those schools will be 6-4. But Daniels, despite having 504 total yards of offense and 3 total touchdowns with 10.5 minutes left in the game, he had that going into the 4th quarter. Despite all of that, despite the eye-popping numbers, 4 losses is probably too much to overcome for a Heisman candidate. But for Marvin Harrison Jr., we talked about it. Just be excited to be invited to New York, to be in the conversation more than anything. And you mentioned it, it's the big games, and he's going to have that chance against Michigan. If he replicates what he did in the first half of this game and goes out and does that against Michigan, because let's remember that college football playoff game last year, he had to leave. He got hurt. He exits the game. He doesn't come back in. The play clock is going to dwindle all the way down and delay of game here against Ohio State. So some of that youth showing and an experience.
Offense, 5-yard penalty.
But Marvin's going to have his opportunity to showcase exactly what makes him so special to the world.
Well, he's fun to watch. You know, I mean, he just does things the right way, and You know, aside from his talent, when you talk to the coaches, they talk about his work ethic and his discipline, and they almost have to slow him down a little bit because he wants to take every rep. He is very meticulous in his preparation.
In all likelihood, this will be the final play of this game. Keenholt stays in there at quarterback. 10-second runoff takes us to 11 ticks remaining. Pryor on the handoff, and he gets stonewalled by Jalen Sami, and then a little extra after the play. Clocks are at zeros. This game is over. Ohio State, they craved a faster start. They got a faster start, and they carried the momentum all the way through. 38-3, the #1 team in the country. Dominant start to finish at home. Wire to wire, Ohio State controls it. Here's CaptainTab.
Coach, a dominating performance from your team and your quarterback, Kyle McCord, with a career day. How important was it for you to see that performance from him tonight?
Yeah, we want to be playing our best football. I've been saying that down the stretch. We got a lot of football ahead, a lot of big games ahead. We want to be playing championship football, and, you know, I think he showed signs of that today.
With such a lopsided victory, when you go back and look at the tape, in what areas of improvement do you still want to see from your group?
Oh, there's issues always. There's always issues on the film. And it's our job as coaches to identify those, and it's the player's job to see those and accept that coaching. But we got to keep building on the momentum we have and keep building the confidence, because, you know, we got everybody on the field together, and the defense is playing complementary football with the offense. You know, then, you know, that's what we're looking for.
You mentioned the road ahead, Minnesota and then Michigan. How much is the finale of the regular season weighing on you at this point?
It's the biggest game of the year every year, so that's not any different. And so we're just going to go back, watch the film, get better next week, and then we know what's coming down the tubes. And so we just got to keep grinding to get better, you know, and our guys got to continue to stay focused on 1 week at a time. And that's it. And then, you know, it's all about a climax at the end of the season, and our guys are, you know, been working towards that and looking forward to that for a long time.
Coach, thanks so much. Good luck.
You got it.
That's one thing you can never say about Ryan Day. He is definitely up front. You can never say that he's holding anything back. He is very honest. He is very just clear about what he's feeling about his team and how he feels about this final stretch of the season. We go right back to KT.
Yeah, here with Kyle McCord, 335 yards, 3 touchdowns. How much did your performance tonight compare to the expectations that you set forth coming into this game?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us, the offense, was just to execute, and I feel like we did a good job coming out, starting fast, and putting points up on the board. Still thought we could have finished a little bit better in the second half, but overall, I think you know, we did our thing on offense.
Why is it so important for you to have a performance like that, given the final 2 games of the season are right around the corner?
Yeah, I mean, in November we got to play our best ball, and I think we knew that coming into the year, and I feel like we've been getting better every single year, or every single week, and I think the biggest thing is now is just finishing the year out strong.
Can you describe what it's like having the weapons that you do? Cade Stover, Marvin Harrison, you get TreyVeon Henderson back in the lineup. What is it like to have so many options out there on offense?
Yeah, I'm spoiled. I mean, there's not ever a bad option. And I thought, you know, we were firing all cylinders today. The O-line did a great job of opening up lanes for the run and then giving me great protection in the pass. So I'm spoiled.
Kyle, congratulations. Thanks so much for your time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Kyle McCord just keeps getting better with each week. The leadership is what you hear from everybody around this program, and it helps when he's got weapons on the outside that he continues to find. One of them, one of the stars of college football, Marvin Harrison Jr., standing with KT.
Yes, indeed. Noah, Marvin, congratulations. 3 touchdowns for you in this game. What was the biggest difference from last week to this week for you?
First, I just want to give all praise and glory to God, but it's my teammates. My teammates put me in good positions to make plays, and the coaches as well. So it wasn't just an individual effort by me, it was a collective effort.
How much fun is it to play in this offense right now when it's you, it's TreyVeon, it's Cade, it's Kyle, it's a whole group putting together these massive points on the board?
It's been great. It's been great having everybody back and healthy. We got Trey back, got Emeka back, Cade back, so it's very exciting to be a part of that group.
And Marvin, when you look ahead to the rest of the season, you get Minnesota and then, of course, the finale against Michigan. What will the focus be for this group as you head to the final 2 games of the regular season?
All the things that we went through in the all season, everything we did to get to this point. Just trust our training, and it's going to be exciting towards the end.
Marvin, thanks so much.
Thank you
Good luck.
very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Noah.
All right, KT, more to come here from Columbus. But it all starts with the St. Joe's Prep duo from back in Philadelphia, here in Ohio. It doesn't matter where they are, they ball out every single time. McCord with 335, 3 touchdowns, Harrison with 3 total, and Ohio State a big win at home. Nebraska and Wisconsin, 2 teams battling for bowl eligibility in Madison. Well, Marvin Harrison Jr. continues to produce at an elite level and just showcases all-around game, the total package, and Ohio State does really everything that he did. They just find ways to win, a little flashy when they need to be, but overall just solid. And it feels like we saw a pretty good version of a balanced attack from Ohio State tonight.
Well, first of all, we saw the same defense we've been seeing all season, right? A stifling defense. They don't give up anything. They don't give up big plays. And tonight they didn't give up a touchdown, just a field goal to Michigan State. And then offensively, I think we saw a great balance. Again, TreyVeon Henderson for the 3rd game in a row makes his presence felt. And Kyle McCord, this was the best that I think he's played all season. He was very sharp, very decisive, very accurate, and they found ways to get the ball in the hands of people that can make things happen.
So let's think about this. Henderson, healthy. Yeah. Harrison, healthy. Stover, healthy. Abuka, getting healthier.
He's healthier. He's not quite there yet, but they need him to be there when they go to Ann Arbor.
Just think about all these starts. Yeah. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, and Kyle McCord did a good job of finding it. First guy you got to find is this guy. Marvin Harrison had 3 touchdowns tonight. TreyVeon Henderson ran the football extremely well. And Kyle McCord was all over the place. Cade Stover, it was really good to have him back because he gives you a weapon in the middle of the defense. You throw to Marvin outside, you throw to Emeka outside, you can attack the inside of the defense with Cade Stover and, of course, the running of TreyVeon Henderson.
So we've talked about it a lot, and really the entire college football world has talked about Michigan, Ohio State. Yeah. It's one of the biggest games of the year every year. Ryan Day just talked about it. It's the biggest game on the schedule for them every year. We saw both of them win today. We've seen Ohio State get tested a couple times throughout the season. They've played a couple top 10 teams. Of course, the major win at Notre Dame week 4. First real test it felt like for Michigan today, and they passed it. So they beat Penn State. What do you see in this matchup as we get closer to that week 13 tilt?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's still a lot that can happen. First of all, they both have to play one more game, and they can't look too far ahead to that one. But when it does come time to play that game, it'll be interesting to see if Jim Harbaugh is on the sideline or if he's not. Because the one thing I did notice today in watching the game in Happy Valley, that's a lot for Sharon Moore because, first of all, he's his first year as the play caller. He was wearing 2 hats today, being the head coach, and he's an offensive line coach, so he needs to talk to those guys in between series but still be the head coach. And I saw a few times where they had to use timeouts because there was some communication. They weren't quite as quick enough. So it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. We'll see what happens. But both teams, I think, are playing their best football and trending into a colossal matchup in Ann Arbor.
They had to tell Sharon, you got to keep the headset on, bro.
Yeah,
you got to make sure that that's staying on there. Make sure you're talking to everybody. 2 great leaders at quarterback as well. We'll have more here from Columbus. Ahmed Fareed and Mike Robinson when we come back after a big OSU win.